Me.
This man,
David, speak again.
you fucking speak again. I'll do plenty of speaking when I feel like it.
He said, "No, you."
Hell yeah,
Said you first.
you.
All right, can you talk one more time, guys?
Talk.
Perfect.
Talker
Perfect.
Talkelson.
All right. Thank you.
Ooh,
Talking the tick lock.
Hello, welcome to the Breweries Podcast, episode number 342. I'm Adrian. That's David. That's Kels. We go live on youtube.com/AppleRepeats to talk about whatever we want to at this point.
True.
yeah,
A lot of video games and stuff has actually been happening, so it's actually a lot about that.
true.
Gentlemen, how's your week been?
I mean, I got a lot to go over. So what's going on with you guys?
Kels, what'd you do?
Been pretty chill on my end. I think y'all
Yeah,
have the fun stuff going on here.
David, go ahead.
All right. So the wife, my mother-in-law, and I went to a Lucy Darling show last night.
The wife, my mother.
No. The wife of my mother-in-law and I went to a Lucy Darling show last night. And for those listening, if you're not familiar, she's kind of a variety act that also does a little bit of magic and a lot of comedy.
She plays magic?
Yeah, she plays magic.
Whoa.
That's sick.
Wife and I have enjoyed her stuff for a long time, and we were like, the closest she's ever come here prior to now was basically like Philadelphia. So we're like, it'll be a long time before we see her live. And like a month ago, the mother-in-law sends us a message saying, "Hey, she's actually coming to Portland." And we're like, "Oh shit, let's go." And the wife was trying to be sweet and get us all front row seats, but there was only 2 front row seats. So we got those for us, and then we got tickets all the way in the 15th row over in the East Bump fucking nowhere for the mother-in-law. This plays into the story, so it's important context. And so night happens, and there's 2 kind of big key things with a Lucy Darling show. One is she always warms up the crowd by talking to some of the people in the front row, and then they'll do like a Q&A section where you submit questions, and then whoever kind of wins the top questions, they'll go ahead and present them during the like kind of mid section before the intermission, and then throughout the show there will be a lot of improv bits and whatnot. So right from the get-go, she's going ahead, she's doing her usual bits, she's talking to the people in the front. There's this kind of like cherry bulb that acts as a microphone that gets passed around in the front. And it comes over to us eventually. And she locks on to my wife and she's like, "Love your hair, darling." And she was getting ready to talk to my wife. And the second she started talking to my wife, out in the East Bumfuck of nowhere, the mother-in-law goes, "That's my daughter!" And so immediately
That's a
fucking
talking point,
stops.
yeah.
And
The whole conversation is how that happened. David, you got too excited, yeah.
there we go. Karate chopped my fucking mic on mute. So the mother-in-law shouts from the rafters, that's my daughter. So immediately stops, and the whole show basically for a good solid like 10 minutes is on our situation. Like, why is your mother-in-law all the way out there and you guys are here? And it's like, and so it's like, all right, I'm gonna play into it. I'm like, yeah, I need a buffer zone. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
No, so I'm like, I need a buffer zone. And then she looks me dead in the eyes and she's like, "I've never seen someone say they're autistic without saying they're autistic before." It's like, okay.
Yeah, well, it's saying buffer zone because like I feel like the if you want to be the silly guy, is like I hate her, I hate
was
my.
just-
But you say
Yeah.
Well,
buffer
after-
zone. I don't think buffer zone would have been in my like Rolodex of what to respond with.
So it became a recurring joke. And then she ended up skipping ahead and went right into the improv and called the mother-in-law down to go ahead and be part of the improv bit. And she got to act out a spy skit. And it was funny because the whole time she's like, I've never called on anyone from like all the way back in the rafters to come join this segment, but here we are. Um, then the night proceeds on. There's a little bit of break where she's doing her own thing, and then they bring up the questions. And the wife and I had submitted a question, which is, we've been married for like almost 3 years, but we haven't actually told anyone in our family. How would you suggest going ahead and telling people? And we get to the Q&A bit, and she's going through the questions, and she gets to ours as one of the questions. And as the second she starts reading it out, the wife and I start busting out laughing. And she's like, okay, and who's this? And we're just waving hi again. And her and her cohorts on the stage just fucking lose it. And so that became a whole thing for a long while. And altogether, the show ran for like about an hour and a half. And myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law's antics took up like a half hour of the show, to the point where they ended up giving us backstage passes for the meet and greet. And we went and did that. We got cool, interesting little.
They should have given it just to you two and not the only for the ones that made it the front row.
But they gave us these cool, neat little pins. I guess these pins in particular, they don't sell. They only give them out to people that they ended up having a lot of fun with during the event.
You didn't say what their answer was to you.
Oh, the first response is, do you have to? I don't think you have to say anything at all. To which it then just became this long joke of, okay, like, well, why haven't you told anyone? Maybe a funeral can bring people together. And just a lot of like variable scenarios, but it ended up ultimately just being like, just don't fucking tell anyone. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, fair.
I thought it was gonna be funny.
But yeah, so that was a good fun time. And
I was,
tomorrow.
See, I was hoping they'd be kind of the person that'd be like, they want to get the rise out of you guys and be like, no, hold on, this is fucked up. Hey, sir, get the fuck back there. Give the mother-in-law the seat. And then you guys had to swap seats. That would have been the funny.
So someone did end up giving my mother-in-law their seat. They left at intermission and they tracked her down. And they're like, "Here, you want a closer seat?" And so it was actually really sweet.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. And then tomorrow we hit the airport and we're making our way to Nashville and seeing the Proto Men for 3 days in a row.
Good luck. It's hot as fuck out there, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Supposedly it's supposed to be thunder and lightning the whole time we're there, so that'll be interesting.
Sounds like a country song already.
It does.
There is definitely songs like that.
Yeah, that would be Thunder Rolls.
Yeah, dress appropriately. You're gonna stand out like a sore thumb there too, so get ready for that.
Yeah. I stand out like a sore thumb in most places.
No, not in Maine.
No, that's why I said most places, not Maine, but
cool. Well, hope Nashville's fun. That's said it before, but Nashville's like one of the cities I loved on that trip that I went across the country with. If it wasn't Boston, Nashville would be my favorite spot to hit. That's a really cool town.
I'm genuinely excited to try the food, see some museums, kind of explore around.
Funny that happened because so I went on my exhibition, I guess you can call it. The host of it though, it's funny because the guy and I kind of meshed. He's an older gentleman, but both Californian, both like jamming the guitar, both special ed and English teachers, English majors. So we both just vibed on that end. But funny you mentioned that too because they used to live in Nashville before that, so we had a long conversation about Nashville.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it wasn't as remote as I thought, but I think that's for the best. Just considering situation and all that. Not that I wasn't prepared for that, but it was cool. Really cool little area. Wasn't a town specifically. Actually, it was like more just like a little spot, like off of a town. Locals were super cool. Hung out, did my thing. I ended up coming back for like a day. It worked out because I did want to properly clean the tattoo because I wasn't ready to like. I don't want. It's not worth. It's only like less than 2 hours, maybe like an hour and a half away. I was like, I'll drive back and just watch it and just hang out for the day.
Yeah,
worked out because shout outs to her had Tessa's ashes ready to pick up. I was like, all right, cool, let's just knock it all out now and don't have to worry about that when I come back on that end. So did all that, but came back. So 2 days, then 1 day here, then 2 days again. I was ready to. I just brought a handful of things. Did a little bit of keyboard. Barely played the guitar, but that was fine. I was ready to rap out like a whole new story, and then I don't know. I got like a random like like itch to like, you know what? Because I think I told you. I don't know if I ever told you. Back in my undergrad at my university, I took an advanced screenwriting class.
Yes.
Yeah, and I busted out a whole script just based on just stuff I was going through, some grief on stuff, and came out with it. And I remember it got pretty good praise from him, but I hadn't opened it in like since then, which has been close to 8 years now, about 7 years. And I don't know, I just never opened it. I knew I liked it still, but I just never really felt like just going through again. I would kind of like pop up in the first few pages, and I'm like, okay. But then I was like, I was like just ready to cringe. I was like, oh, you know what? I think maybe I bust that out now. Because I was like, let me just pull up the PDF on the iPad, and I got something to read here. And I read there like, oh, you know what? That was actually not bad. Like I'm still pretty jazzed about it. So I was like, you know what? And so I just put my iPad one there and my MacBook there, and I just manually retyped the whole thing and revised it like I've been promising myself for like 7 years now to do.
Good shit, man.
127 pages, so shit was a lot. But did that. I'm already gonna work on my first revision of that. I passed it off to one of the students who I know is just like bored. I'm like, hey, here, I wrote this. Give me notes. And they're like, okay, cool. Read the whole thing in like an hour and a half. I'm like, here. I'm like, and
Jesus
then
Christ.
yeah, the partner goes, don't ever tell them this. They have no life. I'm like, yeah. I mean, they would acknowledge that. Also, it's not that big of an insult as it was probably to us back in the day. I think.
Have you ever have you ever seen any of like the interviews that they've done with Zach Kreger on like how he goes about writing a script? I always think it's super
No.
interesting.
No, I'll look that up.
His whole thing is he goes about his first draft. He calls it the elf draft. He goes about his whole thing is he writes it as if he's a little dumb elf. So he just gets all of his ideas out,
Yeah.
writes through it all, and then just goes back through it and then like refines what the little elf left behind.
Yeah. So
It's always
because
such a good
if
idea.
you keep writing, if you try to make it be
Keep it
perfect,
flowing.
if you overthink it, you just get stuck in your tracks. So when I was
Yep.
going through the revision, I was like, well, first I was telling myself I got to get through this before this trip is done. Otherwise, I'm gonna start procrastinating on it. And luckily, I got through like literally 98% of it. And I was like, all right, cool. I went home and just finished the last like 2% of it. But there was a few times where I had to like pause and take a break for like a couple hours and just be like, I don't know if I'm feeling this right now. I was overthinking myself, but then there was one spot where I'm like, I know I'm fucking up this timeline and I'm thinking about time too much, and I can go back and fix that right now, but fuck that. I'll write and I'll remember it in the notes when I take it back. And sure enough, that was one of the ones that the student mentioned. They're like, yeah, your timeline's a little funky. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna go back on second revise and do all that. And I got shorten it down anyway, but I'm a lot happier with it now. It's actually looking pretty good. I'm gonna probably submit it so I can get it just like blocked in on my name. Once I get done with another revision or two, I think I just need. And after that, I can lock it away and I can finally like with the empty mind go into my next project, right? Because I always felt a little funky, like it's always just sitting there, like kind of hovering there. It's like it's always there. I need to do it eventually. I keep promising to myself. I keep telling myself, I'm like, you know what? Even if the whole trip is just me just revising that thing, I think that's worth it because that has been a thing I've been wanting to do for many years now. Um, but yeah, no, I'm proud of it. It came out pretty good. I'm gonna revise it one more time. I'll probably pass it to that students. They already have the notes on it, and then I'll pass it to other people and see what they say, and maybe go through two more times and lock that in. Um, but yeah, no, I think that's the way to do it. You got just write. You got to just do stuff and get it on paper because if it doesn't go on paper, you're just gonna sit on it forever, and
Oh,
that
100%.
that shit sucks. But yeah, no, it was cool. Cute little cabin. I didn't realize too. There was a smaller one too that was built just for writers, but I didn't see it on the listing. But yeah, they were telling me how like there's this guy that just comes out every summer with a guitar and just busts out like all this music. So I'm like, cool. So I think that might be oh, I can speak. That might be my yearly thing is if I just go out there for a couple days and just knock out something. Because now I know everyone that it was cool. There was like a little not necessarily like a festival, but like a little kind of community get together that just happened to land in there while I was there. They were playing some music. Some bands came up for music to support their museum. It was a really cool area. The locals were super cool. I was telling them too because like I came out and just talked to them. And I was like, it was funny because like you guys are kind of like bartenders because like they had like a little shop there. But I was like, yeah, they just locals come in, they browse around for a second, maybe grab a drink, and they just talk. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what you guys are. And I came out there and started talking to them. I'm like, yeah, because I need to yap a little bit, Like I didn't talk for like a whole day. I'm like, yeah, I kind of need to just talk. Um, did a nice little hike there too. Yeah, it was a cool little trip. Um, and that's my last one. Unless I get something spontaneous, is my last trip until I go to Arizona to go watch the Odyssey next month in 70 millimeter, which I'm very excited for.
Hell yeah.
Um, speaking of movies, I forgot to mention as well. I did watch Michael last week. I forget if I mentioned that. I don't think I did. It was cool. It was weird seeing a biopic say to be continued. I was like, it
What
should
the
just.
fuck?
Well, you have to wait for the sequel, Jackson.
Yeah, that'd been really funny. Yeah, no, they only covered up to like a part of his life, which is, to be fair, like there's a lot of shit that happened to him, right? So
Yeah,
But-
the Diddler stuff. What
Yeah.
about that?
well, they were gonna. Oh, I it's so funny that my partner's the embodiment of like a Wikipedia or IMDb page during any movie. Whenever something just interesting, she just pops out her phone, starts researching all that stuff, like mid movie.
Yeah.
I'm like. Me, I'm like, I'll do that after a movie. Like the second movie ends, like second credit, like the first name hits. I'm like, all right, cool, pull the phone. I'll
Yeah, I gotta absorb what's happening first.
No, she'll like stop doing, like she'll stop watching, just like research that stuff. She was going through that, and yeah, there was like, it was supposed to start off on stuff like that too, but that got pushed back on. But obviously that whole next part's gonna
Why? Like, why would that get pushed back?
right. Why would that? But
Well, what you got to do is you got to do the completely unproblematic first half.
Yeah.
You know, lull the fans in, and then you throw the super problematic second half.
right, and-
So that way you get all the haters' money. You know, you got to go after both audiences.
and that's not to say that he wasn't the victim in a lot of ways too, right? Like he had the short end of the stick on that end too, and I've known about that
Yeah.
prior to all that too. But a lot of weird stuff. But I was saying is I think they should have went for the Avengers thing, which Michael will return.
In Jackson.
Yeah. But yeah, I watched that. That was cool. And then this morning I watched Masters of the Universe in 40X.
Hell yeah. How was it?
It was cool. It felt like maybe a little bit more forceful Ragnarok.
I really liked it. That was one I seen too.
Yeah, it was fun. It had some moments. I did feel like maybe a little bit too many times. I'm like, all right, we can stop with the joke. Like it's a little Marvel-y right now. I'm like, you guys, we don't need to make a joke every time. The one that like I had like, if my eyes made noises, you would hear them roll. Was it was like I hear nothing but crickets, and just each double but crickets. I'm like, who wrote that on a script? And it's like, yeah, just say it. Like, oh my god, dude. Like it was a lot.
I think it gets a pass purely because like that is He-Man. Like
No.
if there's like one that should or can get away with it, it should be He-Man, just because it kind of embodies like that whole like over the top,
yeah,
like let it sit on the stupid joke.
and I get that, but I mean, it felt like it felt like it was released. If this was, and to be fair, like like I said, I looked up the stuff, right? I looked up this, and like this has been in development hell forever. Like they're trying to make this forever, and it feels like a Marvel-esque action joke, sad moment, hit him with a quip, you know. But again, and that's fine. I've never been a He-Man person, so I can't say anything on that end. But
See, I grew up with the 2000s He-Man, and this one like hit like all the right notes for me. It was like, and it's one of those things like when you go into it and expecting like, hey, I'm not expecting like a cinematic masterpiece or anything. Like
Yeah.
I'm expecting like the action. I'm expecting the gay jokes, Skeletor to be super sassy and slightly homoerotic the whole time. And I mean, you get that, and it's cool.
the marketing sucked.
It's terrible, so bad, so bad.
I think just with the style of it and the tone and what they were going for, it really feels like a Ragnarok inspired movie. Like Beat for like
yeah,
it really
for
just
sure.
feels like it echoes that. Even like the way that like
Well,
the credits
it's
roll
one of
in,
those
it's very
things,
neon,
like-
and it's the time too.
Well, and they're just like unfortunately very similar. Like they make the joke a lot, like that he's supposed to be like Conan. He's a riff on Conan, but
Yeah.
with how Thor is nowadays, Thor is more of like intergalactic space pirate
Yeah.
Viking, and it's just like it's kind of unfortunate that He-Man was there first, but Thor's kind of like impeding on that and
Which
becoming
is funny because like
He-Man.
he just stole that too. Like we went from Dark World to
Completely stole the
Ragnarok,
gig.
and it's like
Right.
I'm sure someone out there that had the idea for this, like, what the fuck, dude. But at that point, just double down on that, because like, yeah, Love and Thunder sucked, but Love and Thunder did not feel Ragnaroky. Like it felt like it went way off course that way. Ragnarok is still and again, I haven't seen it in a while actually, but that was my comfort movie for a long time. You just throw that thing on, I just play it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. That's a fun movie to just have in the background.
I think it's really weird to say, but I think Jared Leto is like the best part about
You
the
know
movie
what?
too.
And you know why?
Gross.
Because you can't even tell.
You can't like why is he in this movie? Like you could not that
No,
could be anyone.
I do not like Jared Leto. I am a Jared Leto
Yeah,
hater. I think he
100%.
is box office poison. However, if you didn't tell me that was Jared Leto, I would have had zero idea.
Right.
Who knew? All you need to do to make him give a normal performance is to act like a villainous skeleton.
Yeah, or be in Blade Runner.
Right.
But no,
Yeah, another good one. But
he
yeah, no, he was great at it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Skeletor is like the best part about the movie. It's so good.
Yeah, it was super fun on that end. I like how there's mid credits here. I'm like, you guys aren't gonna make another one. I'm sorry. Like,
So sad too,
Yeah.
especially because like it kind of embodies like what He-Man is, especially at the end because you get the Orko cameo. He comes in and, like wraps it all up. It's like that's the story of this
I
story.
figured, like,
that's the end of
I
this
have no
story.
idea. There's like moments, and that's what I appreciate about a good movie is like when there's moments you know what it is, even though you have zero idea.
Yeah.
So like that happened, and then Dolph Lundgren came in, and they were having that like
Yeah.
very obvious conversation. I'm like, all right, as soon as I saw him, and they're like, this is out of place, but this obviously is like a hit nudge. Hey, here you guys go, you know.
Right.
So that
The
was
passing of the torch.
yeah, which I even said like for the new guy, what the fuck,
Yeah.
you know, like such a like a on the plate. But I appreciate that, especially with the corniness of a movie, right? You kind of need that.
And it kind of circles back around with Skeletor at the end too, right?
Yeah. I will say also for 40X, that part where there were spoilers, He-Man and Skeletor fight at the end. But when
shit.
He-Man just starts
fuck.
when He-Man starts punching, but then there's one part where he goes "Do-do-do-do-do-do."
Yeah.
that fucking chair just pumped me the fuck up, dude. It was like for each fucking punch, which was rapid. I was like, holy shit.
I will say too, like I love like this new style of like almost fight choreo that they did with it. It was kind of like that kind of like they super ramped up like a lot. They filmed stuff in like really high FPS and then like ramped it a lot during the action scene, so it gave like more force, more like speed to stuff.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of the locked off cameras on shit, and it was really cool. It was really nice to see.
Yeah. No, it was
Really cool.
it was fun. It was me and one other person.
Very brutal too. Like a lot of fucking like stabbing and like people getting maimed and shit. And it's just like, yep, like cussing. It felt kind of over the top for maybe PG-13.
Yeah, it felt like it wanted to toe the line of R.
Like it was skirting it. It
Which
was close.
I honestly think, I mean, at this point, maybe if they could turn back time, just double down on the R and make it an R-rated movie and advertise it as that. Double down with the homoeroticism too.
Dude, there's a few lines. It's like, oh my god. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
The fisting.
Well, no, like with Skeletor, because there's a whole part where he's just like, your big thick thighs and the long thing between them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh god.
No, but there's
Well,
there's a
then.
lot of fisting jokes because of a person, David.
Fisto.
Yeah, Fisto.
Yeah.
And you fist people. Yeah, I fist people. Yeah, no, it did toe the line on that end, but yeah, unfortunately, it's not doing well. It was me and one other
No.
person in that theater, which is
It's so sad too because I feel like that kind of always happens to Travis Knight a little bit. Like Bumblebee kind of did the same thing.
Bumblebee was great.
Bumblebee's really good, and
Which-
like I said, I feel like this one's up there too. It's like a good one that
This-
it's kind of underperformed. Like people are just not going to see it.
it was really marketing, but it was like this is a summer ass movie.
Oh, yeah, for
this,
sure.
This is easily. I think you. I mean, I guess I don't know when you put it though, because Toy Story is coming out right now, and
Spider-Man's gonna be
and
in
Jackass.
next one. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I'm getting my crossover episode. Me and my best friend from high school is gonna be one of my really good friends right now, and then my tattoo artist might even hop in on that too. So I'm like, cool. Let's just get
Oh,
everyone.
yeah.
Let's get the bros. Yeah. So we're all booked on that end. Yeah. No, I don't know where else you put it, but I mean, it's a summer movie. Like it's 100% a summer movie.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels. I mean, I the reason why is obviously the marketing. 'Cause-
And I mean, I guess there's just no market there for He-Man.
yeah, sounds like fun.
The
movie was
the old
alright,
buck
it
want
was
to go.
Yeah, the movie was fun. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
I'll see you when He-Man gets made in another 30 years when they don't touch it for a while,
Right.
or people
Dead
just stop
IP.
hiring Jared Leto.
Never. He'll keep getting jobs. He'll keep funding
I
shit to
know,
get
what the
put in.
fuck?
He'll come back in Morbius 5 when
he
they
has some
just
dirt on
skip
the industry
ahead.
or something because he keeps landing all these roles. I'm like, how?
Well, he's putting his own money into it. That's how Tron came to be. Like he was
producing
put his
that
own
one. Yeah,
money-
well, that would make sense afterwards because I was wondering that the entire time. How the fuck did this even happen? Like, oh, he funded it. I'm like,
Yeah, I guess he was like a big Tron fan, and he's wanted to see it made. So it's
Yeah.
like, all right.
well, nah,
The
nah.
worst thing ever when someone you hates agrees with you.
And now he killed it though. That Tron's not getting touched for a long time. That if
No.
it does, it's yeah, that's cooked.
Disney invested all that in that new ride. So
yeah,
funny.
Yeah, really, they really did. Because I mean, I get it too. Like, I mean, it seems like a recipe for success until you get into it.
Yeah, it's still wild that like out of because that's a property that lends itself to so much more than what ever happens with it. Like we've never gotten a really good Tron video game still. You know, there was the arcade games back in the 80s that were okay.
They
There's
had the
Xbox
ones on
Live,
360.
Yeah, I was about to say the Xbox Live Arcade one was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was all right, but like I feel like there's a good opportunity for like a good adventure game there, but it's still kind of wild that the closest we'll get to like a good long like Tron adventure is fucking Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, Tron 2.0 was
Hell
great.
yeah.
Shout out to Gore. Yeah, I need to go watch. I'm probably gonna watch Disclosure Day tomorrow. I've been hearing good stuff about
Yeah.
that. And
I've been
then-
hearing mad stuff about that. So that's
Really?
kind of funny.
I do
Yeah.
have unfortunate news to report. Toy Story 5 is the lowest rated of the Toy Story franchise with only 90%.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
What a fucking what a fucking franchise, dude. Like I've been we've talked about this a billion times. Like 4 does not need to exist. 5 doesn't need to exist really. They could have done a lot of things with it, but hey,
Well, the crazy thing about 4 is like, yeah, it does need to exist, but it's still good. Like it's not a bad film or anything. It's just like 3 is like 1, 2, and 3 is like an all-time trilogy. Like I can easily put that in like a top 5 trilogy.
I think even Quentin Tarantino said that's just the best trilogy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's just like 4 didn't need to exist. It's fine, but if 5 comes out and it's a banger, it's like all right, it kind of makes 4 like more reasonable, right?
Sure, and I think that actually is kind of it. If 5 comes out as good, then it kind of redeems a lot of people with 4.
Right.
We'll see, but I mean, what a fucking franchise, dude! If 90% out of your 5th entry is the lowest, we're not counting Lightyear. I'm gonna talk about Lightyear.
They're slipping. Also, speaking of slipping, shouts to Gore in the chat. Tron 2.0 was great. Agreed. I like Tron 2. Also, he is now our number 1 commenter, usurping at Backy. At Backy, you've been slipping, buddy.
What a dumbass.
Have you
dude.
seen
Come on.
the popcorn buckets for Toy Story?
No.
I want them. I need is not, but I want them.
Is it just Woody's head with like a hole in the mouth?
God.
Yeah. One of them is a Toy Story ball, which is whatever. The other one is Buzz. Like Buzz is the in his
Nazi
in his
saluting.
case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's super cool. And I think I saw another one. Oh, there was one with the bucket that actually pops the wings out. Like it's a regular.
Okay,
popcorn
that's
bucket,
actually
pops the wings.
kind of neat.
Yeah, it has and the compartment that holds the wings is actually a cup too. So I'm like, that's the one I kind of want. I was thinking about the
That's
Buzz Lightyear one,
baller.
but I'm like,
All right.
but a bucket that I can actually use, it actually pops the wings out. I'm like, all right, we'll see. So I might try to snag that. I'm gonna try to get rid of some. I'm gonna give a good pass through the room here probably the next like week or two and just start getting rid of some stuff, get rid of some clutter. And unfortunately, the thing I think I thought of first was the Venom, the Venom head.
Venom.
Yeah, so that was a fun meme. I will make money on that, which is cool, but I will probably be selling the Venom head. So
Yeah, I never got into the collectible popcorn things, partially because I'll admit, like I have this old Disney's 90s ceramic set that I'm quite partial to. But also, I don't know, it just out of all the collectible things, a popcorn bucket just feels like the most like, yeah, it's usable, but it's all full of like greasy
well,
popcorn. You gotta
depends.
wash it very carefully.
before they got
and-
gimmicky, yeah, it was a cool like tin, right, that you can just even like stack in with one another and just keep it away, and they're just cool to have. So I have like 4 or 5 of those, and I use them still. Like I like in my bathroom, I have some for just random things I just had like next to the sink.
The emergency piss bucket, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can use them as like a little trash can, like little bathroom trash
You
cans.
could. But yeah, I have some holding just random like wires and stuff. One in the kitchen holds a bunch of snacks and stuff. So they have like utility just hanging around there. But then they get to the gimmicky
Yeah.
ones like and I mean I contributed to it like the Herbie or the head pool,
Yeah.
which are literally not buckets. They're just toys.
Or like even the Star Wars one, they had the AT-AT
Yeah.
walker, it's like this big monstrosity,
Which
or
is
like
not
the
a bucket, and they don't even give you the popcorn in that because like they know
Yeah.
that they know that we know it's a toy. You're just it's a popcorn bucket. No, it's literally a toy that just has a compartment in it that needs to be there to be called a bucket.
I wonder how much the Galactus head is going for now.
Good question, actually. I'm curious. That was one that you
Man.
couldn't sell me on. That was so much money. I'm like, no, I love a good gimmick. I bought Herbie, but you can't get me on that.
That could've been a nice-
$3,000 now.
Yeah, that could have been a nice little nest egg, dude.
Not as much as you'd imagine. Actually, people are probably breaking even. Let me see.
$40.
Oh
No.
god,
No.
imagine.
Let's go look at sold. Like a brand new sealed one did sell. Holy shit! Is this? Oh fuck! Hold on. No, that's wrong. Okay.
Donks.
Yeah, no. About $80. 80 like top level. It looks like about from 80 to about 120. So I mean, I think it's sold around there too. So you're not making much money, especially because you have to ship that thing too. How much is the Herbie one? Because I always thought that one was infinitely cooler, but no, about the same price too, which is funny because that was cheaper, I believe. Yeah,
You would appreciate it better.
Yeah.
I think the Venom one actually is just as much. It sells just for about as much. Yeah, I'm seeing about $60, $50. Yeah, I'll make money back on that. But yeah, no. But I do see a utility in the Buzz Lightyear one, so I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go back to the buckets side of it. Otherwise, I'm not really falling for any more of these the gimmick stuff on that. I am out of space. I'm out of room. I have no need. But yeah, that's the thing. Kels, I know you're more into sports, obviously. You been keeping up with the World Cup?
So I'm following US and Japan, so that's about it.
Okay, I'm following.
What, you
Mexico.
didn't hear about the fun thing that Saudi and Iran are going to compete?
Are they?
I think I saw something about that they were going to compete.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm following Mexico, so I've been diving in and been all decked out in Mexico gear and stuff like that too, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
They
Actually-
put out the youngest player. They both the Mexico's team has both the youngest and the oldest player on that team, which is cool.
That's pretty funny.
David?
One thing that is sports related that I do know, shout outs to the Knicks. Y'all went ahead and won everything thanks to Danhausen. So
Good Buck Wimby, get him out of here.
Did you see how they how they did throw away that one whole game at the end?
Oh yeah.
no.
So I don't know how much you know about basketball itself, David, but
Well, I played once and then I got ejected from the game because I shoulder tackled too many people.
yeah, that'll happen.
Street rules.
So obviously
Yeah, I'm a big dude. I'm gonna just fucking throw my weight around. Apparently, that's frowned upon in basketball. I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
So
Yeah,
they're
come on,
playing-
pussy.
They're playing a series, right? At the very end, the Spurs were up. Was it Spurs or was it Knicks? Knicks, I think. Knicks were up
It
30.
was the Spurs because I know that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Knicks, most of their games they were losing by double digits.
Yeah,
So
They
I don't
were-
follow basketball as much.
That's the running joke is like all the games that the Spurs lost, they were winning by double digits at one point.
So Spurs were up. Yeah, they were up like 20 or 30, and then at the end it was down like
29.
the buzzer was going down. Had like 10 seconds left. The ball gets rebounded and heads to the other side of the court.
He goes to shoot it.
Spurs grab it, and all you have to do is hold on to it. Like you just dribble it, and you can just time them out, and you win the game. He went for a layup. Because I guess his logic is like I want to like get the score so that we just like they have to force a three, but you know what you could do is just don't let them shoot at all by just holding
Yeah,
on to it.
it forces them to foul you. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do the fucking blitzball special. You just throw it to your goalkeeper and let them hold on to it.
yeah. So that was tragic. Um, yeah,
very funny to watch though. And even like the US game, like we won 4-1, but the first goal was Paraguay scored on themselves. They kicked it into their own goal. It's like, oof.
yeah.
Feels bad to watch, but I'm not gonna say no to it.
I forget the team that played Germany, but they got like slaughtered.
Oh yeah, it was like 8-0 or some
Yeah,
shit.
but I think it was 8-1 actually. I think maybe, but it's a my girlfriend was telling me it's a very small country, like a super small country, and that was their first time there, so
Oh,
they were just happy to be there. They're just vibing. They're like, hey, this is kind of cool. We're nervous, so we're not gonna do
well,
that well, but it's cool.
well, that's the unfortunate thing too, is because I think they literally doubled the size of the group stage.
Hmm.
So it's just like a lot more of these smaller nations are just gonna get paired into like absolutely killer brackets, and it's
Yeah,
like it's unfortunate, but
yeah.
you
Um,
want more brackets? This
I
is what's
I
gonna happen.
I watch periodically. I've never watched. I peek at them every year just to or every time they come around for Mexico. But I didn't realize even that Mexico's never been like even like Mexico like topped at third
Yep.
before, but they never went that far. And I was actually kind of just trying to figure out what that was because soccer's huge in Mexico. Um, but yeah, no, I was looking into that too, and uh, there was like memes going around with Mexico has a 1% chance, and everyone's like, "There's a fucking chance, let's go!"
There's always a chance.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, we got our gear. We're gonna try to do some. She was like, "You want?" I was like, I got Peacock. We can watch it." I was like, "No, I want to go watch it with the crowds, dude. We're gonna go crazy because soccer
Dude,
fans are great, dude.
yeah,
That
I
shit was
wanted
hard.
to get tickets to go because Japan's playing in Dallas, so I could
Ooh,
just drive down there. It's only like a few hours away
that'd be
from me,
sick.
but tickets
They're
were
expensive as
fucking
fuck. Yeah,
insane.
yeah,
Yeah, they were like $600 a pop.
yeah.
It's like, I'm
You're
sorry.
getting nosebleeds.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but I'm just not gonna pay like $1,000 to go do this shit. Yeah, it's like one of those once in a lifetime sort of situations because I mean, it's not gonna come back to the
I
states
I
in probably
might
a
have
long
done
time.
that. I'm not gonna lie. If it was like nearby us and it was like a Mexico game there, I not gonna lie.
Can't get
I
it.
might have just fucking went for that because
I got too much other shit going on too.
that's fair. But and that's also soccer's not your like big thing either, right? If it was like
It's not, but for like World Cup, Olympics
yeah,
type shit, it's like, yeah, you kind of have to try and make that happen if it's within reason, and it's just
yeah,
not within reason.
yeah, no, I think I would just because like energy of just it's so funny. It happens every 4 years, right? Just like especially like social media when it's so US based, just based off your algorithm and your timeline, and it's like it shocks a lot of people every time. They're like, "What the fuck?" Like they think the Super Bowl's the biggest thing every year. It's like, oh no, 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 no. This thing is fucking huge. This thing is worldwide, brother.
Well, not only that, but just like individual soccer games dwarf like what the Super
Oh
Bowl
yeah,
does.
you dude. I liked seeing the camaraderie between Mexico and South Korea. That's going all over the internet. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's gonna be a lot of mixed babies coming out here in about 9 months."
Yeah,
Uh,
everyone's singing Gangnam Style out in the streets.
yeah. Mexico is fucking funny, dude. Whenever they which actually apart from that one guy that was making the racist eyes towards that girl who did get doxxed and fired. So shouts to
That shit was so crazy. It's so blatant.
yeah. But it's funny because I was it like the Mexicans are teaching like the South Koreans how to curse at the refs in Spanish. Whenever the Mexicans saw a Japanese player on the street get interviewed, they start chanting Pikachu, Pikachu. Like, dude, it's so, but it's all love on that. End. Like, they fucking love it, dude. Like, and there was like in South Korea, like fans are out there are fucking loving it. There was one where they're just tossing the fans in the air like that. There was one where a South Korean guy they were just cheering for him, and then he took off his he ends up his jacket and he had a Chivas, a Mexican soccer team jersey on and kissed it and everyone's like, fuck yeah. Which is unfortunate because we have the anime rivalry because we play them next. So it's like it's that meme of the in the rain shooting at someone with the crying. It's like we love you.
Womp.
It's gone for this hour. We will not be friends, but we will be friends the second this ends. um, but yeah, no, it's been fun. So we got our gear. I'll run out here in a second. I'll show you what else I got too because I've been excited. I've been decking out for that. Um, Actually, on that note, I'm gonna go run and get that. David, did you get anything?
No.
Kels?
Me either.
All right, I'll show that
I'm
in a second.
empty-handed.
I'll fill air while you go run and get shit. Don't worry about it. Speaking of international shit, at the end of the month, I'm fucking stoked. AEW Forbidden Door is at the end of the month. Their yearly crossover with Japan and Mexico. You can't fucking go wrong. Kels, have you looked at this match card at all?
No, but if it's on a golf field, I'm in.
It is not currently.
God damn it. Make it happen. That shit was sick.
But no, we got starting off Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland as the men's Owen Hupcart final match. Super fucking excited for that. Truly, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland are phenomenal examples of just amazing in-ring performers that if you're not a wrestling fan, their matches will be ones to kind of convert you into a wrestling fan. We got Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. I fucking love Kenny Omega, phenomenal wrestler. He is going to go down as one of the all-time greats that has never went to WWE. Zack Sabre Jr. is not everyone's cup of tea. He is very much like a wrestling fan's kind of wrestler. He's all about like big chain wrestling. Think a lot of like what classic British Bulldog and Bret Hart used to do. Kind of a lot of that kind of style. But the one I'm like super stoked for is we got an MJF versus Mark Briscoe, kind of a old like WCW War Game style match going on. Hell yeah!
David just.
Oh shit! Now Kels is fucking disappearing now for something too. What the fuck's homeboy grabbing? Where's he going? All right. Well, I guess while he's doing that, I'll finish what I was saying, which is absolutely fucking stoked for Forbidden Door this year. It is the one AEW pay-per-view I always make sure I fucking catch because I always just love seeing different wrestling companies all get together, and especially when you get America, Mexico, and Japan working together. Hell yeah!
Like how
Let's go, La Parca.
Like how David's the one that wants to be a wrestler still, and he's the one without the mask.
Yeah, where you at, dude?
My wife would never fucking let me.
In your office?
Oh, well, actually be a wrestler. No, but no,
Oh.
I no, fucking Christ. I wonder if they even still make Super Dragon masks anymore, because I actually would like a Super Dragon mask.
So I made a trip to get some more merch, and then it had a $20 off like $100 code, and it was like if I added this, the whole order was cheaper. So I'm like, all right, cool, love that.
That's so funny. The thing's dusty as hell.
But that wasn't even what I was gonna show you. I just forgot I got that, so I wanted to bring that here real quick. It was
So funny.
this. It's a crossbody bag.
That's so sick. I love it. You can use it for pickleball too.
Hell yeah, there you go.
Hell yeah, I found a company in China that makes Super Dragon masks. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure it's not filled with asbestos at all.
Yeah, you gotta get it down. You gotta get it down south of the border so it's authentic.
Mm-hmm. Probably gonna go. Good luck with the streams and content in the future. Appreciate you, Gore.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
You're if you ever want to come on again for an episode or two, buddy, all you gotta do is just say so.
Yeah, maybe we can talk Adrian into playing Kingdom Hearts 1 while I'm
Yeah, or
have
we could
that
talk about
when
Bug
I come back.
Snacks.
Yeah, or that. I'll play Bug Snacks again.
Dude,
I'll
Yeah.
gladly talk about Bug
when
Snacks.
I was watching Gore watch the Summer Games Fest, the fucking stream was ass, brother. Like their thing just kept fucking lagging, which is
Yeah,
fucking
there was a lot of cutting out on the one he was watching, or I
Mhm.
saw.
Well, there was a few of them. Like I was flashing through different streams trying to find one that would work, and they were all bad. But
Yeah.
I think it was being streamed on Steam, right?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
there was a bunch that was working. The only one that the wife and I found that was working was the one that had the sign language interpreter. So we only had like a quarter of the screen actually showing the shit that going on, and the rest just the interpreter.
Dude, he was getting frustrated with it, which is valid because I was getting frustrated with it. And so he wanted to look, but he didn't want to miss part of the stream, obviously. So I looked for him real quick.
Right.
Found I was like, oh look, GameSpot. So I showed him like, hey, GameSpot's going. He's like, all right, cool. He went to GameSpot, watched it for a bit. GameSpot was just recording it because they had YouTube ads play in the middle of it. It's like, All right, cool. Shout out to GameSpot.
Shout outs.
Let's see. Did I get anything else? I don't think I did. Yeah, sorry. Keep going, David.
No, that's all I had to say. Just that I am excited for Forbidden Door. It's one of my favorite times of year for wrestling,
Nice.
other than WrestleMania. Although over the last couple of years, WrestleMania has continued to be a fucking disappointment. So thankfully we have options, and AEW Forbidden Door is never a bad show, and I don't doubt that this year will be great as well. And if either of you are interested, feel free to watch along with me.
Cool. David, what'd you play this week?
Hell yeah! I've been playing more Astrobot. I'm almost done. I just have the last little galaxy to do there. I've 100%ed everything up to this point. I think I'm like 5 trophies away from getting the platinum. Fantastic little game. Fucking cute, adorable. Love it. Is a great time.
Does it not make you real? Like, that game came out what? They came out how many years ago now?
like 4 or 5, something like that?
Probably. Let's see. 2024. So it's been almost 2 years.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Is it not? Is it not wild that like you play that and you're like, oh, let me just steal this formula and just give it a conquer or something, and that could be
Yeah.
could have been the easiest slam dunk in the history. I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, I guess with the way that like modern game devs go, like it could probably be like, maybe 3 more years and we could see a new Astrobot, but
No, I mean that's fine. But I'm like, how do people not rip that off?
Right.
Microsoft.
Oh, I
doesn't
see what
wait.
you-
Like
yeah,
Conquer or
Microsoft.
something. I feel-
Honestly, I'm surprised even like the indie scene we haven't seen, like, because we get like a bunch of like indie fighters where we got like Brawlhalla and a bunch of that where it's like, oh, we got all these crossover characters. Where's the indie platformer where we're getting like all the indie game platforming characters?
I mean,
Well, like I think we've yapped about it before, but I think like Conquer would be like perfect for like a Astrobot
yeah,
kind
dude,
of
just rip
like
off,
more.
like make fun of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more of like a mature take on it. Just like you can riff on whatever Xbox property from now back to however fucking long you want to go.
With whatever.
And
Blood, I
we'll
guess.
we'll
Or
we'll
even
dive into that in a little bit, but
Oh,
to
shit, you dive into it.
borrow a future subject for a moment, Rare is one of the studios not on the chopping block. So I mean, like,
I'm sure Sea of Thieves makes crazy fucking money.
Sea of Thieves and Forza Horizon were the only games that really actually sold on PlayStation. Which, I mean, if you look into that, I think Gears of War Reloaded only sold 1 million. Which, I mean, yeah, 1 million's cool, but that shit was popping
for how much it
back in the
costs,
day.
yeah.
So in a lot of hindsight, I guess you kind of like go like, all right, well, I guess it's not. I'm sure, like, if it was selling like 10 million copies, this shit, we wouldn't be talking about this right now.
Yeah.
But
it's also one of those things that I have to imagine that most people that have played fucking Gears of War that want to play it, the majority have played it by this point.
yeah, I mean that's fair.
Because that's the thing. That's why I hate when Capcom does this shit of like, oh, let's fucking test the water to see if people want a new game by continuously re-releasing an old game. Like, no, just give us a fucking new game, because the vast majority of people that wanted to play the old game, especially after you hit the 10-year mark, have probably fucking played it already by this point.
have Lish Gorsh coming back. I agree. We'll summon him.
I do wish they'd at least bring them to like Steam or some shit.
Yeah.
Are they not going to be
That was
on
my biggest
Steam
fear.
still?
I mean, they weren't. The new one, E-Day's listed on Steam, but
I think it's predominantly focused on the like
think they're-
Microsoft Windows Store.
yeah.
Interesting. I could have sworn that they were all on Steam. I know Forza Horizon is.
Yeah, it's Reloaded 5 and the new one, E-Day.
But remember, don't listen to those trailers that leaked online showing PlayStation as a platform. It was never the intent to release those games on PlayStation.
Well, no, I don't think they didn't say it wasn't their intent. I think they were just back.
They did.
No,
Matt Booty himself
No,
said
they were trying to say it wasn't a last second decision, which, I mean, it's still wrong. Because it definitely was. If like their own podcast didn't even have the updated graphics. Because people even said too. I guess we'll just dive into that a little bit. People were saying too that uh, there was supposed to be a Halo trailer during the state of play,
Yes,
which would have been
and that got
nuts.
pulled.
Which isn't that, which is so funny now because that shit, the state of play was the one that was everyone thought was the weakest. Now it's like, whoopsie. That's kind of ballsy. So shout outs to them for like trying something crazy with that. Like, fuck that. No, we're good.
Yeah, shout out to Microsoft for
Yeah.
pissing on hospitality.
Yeah,
I-
shout out good guy Microsoft.
I've been frustrated with the way they've been doing things a lot too. But I mean, to their credit too, like no one is playing ball with them, right? Like Microsoft is the one like multi-platform. I was like, hell yeah, cool. And then I was like, cool, come over.
I mean, that's
Cool,
what
come over.
happens when you let your brand sink to the bottom.
There's a lot to be said about how much this devalued things too. You know, because I don't know. It's funny because discourse goes back and forth, right? Like, why would you do this now? Because like, there's no consoles on there to sell. It's like, well, that's the point. It's got to sell consoles, but we're
Yeah,
so
but
far
you've
past that.
already now spent development time on this. That's my issue. You've spent so much development time and resources making these other console versions, and you suddenly decide, nah, fuck that.
See, but this is probably the one time they could have jumped on that off that point. Like, E-Day was big. Where if E-Day had just stuck on PlayStation 5, I think a lot of this shit would have been moot because that does devalue all that. I think, like we said last week, it's kind of funny that Microsoft was like, hey, you can have Gears 1, you can have Halo 1. Okay, you want the rest? Come back. I think that it's still like kind of fucked and like they got to reverse a lot of shit still.
Yeah, if that was the plan from the beginning,
Sure,
I agree. Yeah, if that was the plan from the beginning and there was never the intent to release on PlayStation, that would have been a smart strategy. Here's the beginning of all of our series, but if you want to play the most recent shit, come on over. Great idea. Fantastic marketing. The fact that you are so close to releasing to the point where other people have come out and say, no, we got like full release builds sitting on our computers right now for all these console versions on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but E-Day above Gears of War Reloaded, even above Campaign Evolved, I hate that name still. E-Day is the one that could sell consoles if it was going to be anyone that would.
But the problem is you've already spent the money on it. That's what I'm saying. Is like Microsoft.
But it's a
especially
bad
with the
investment
Xbox.
if they reverse, right? Like if it's in that's what I'm saying is it's weird because if they reverse it, all this reversal is just kind of show how much the multi-platform thing devalued the idea of owning an Xbox. And yeah, you spent
Yeah,
money
I
on
don't
that.
disagree,
You spent
but
money on
the
that.
problem is that they need to make money on the millions they've spent developing it. You
Okay,
don't just
so,
piss
like,
that away.
I guess that goes back to like, didn't we get a number for it? Wasn't it 400 million that they said
Yes.
was the
Speculated
cost,
400 million,
estimated
yeah.
cost? That's insane.
You spent you've spent more than some countries have as an economy fucking making this fucking game. And you
And-
go ahead and decide in the 11th hour, let's just not release it on a platform. Because that's money, that's development time that could have been further optimized for the Xbox versions to begin with.
100%. The whole lost time thing sucks. That I mean, at the end of the day, though, at least like they got paid for that. It is what it is on that end. I think just this is fine as long as they realize in the back, which I mean, executives you don't know. They make the dumbest.
It's
decisions all
not
the time.
fine because of the other stories we're going to get to, because it just shows that they're pissing money and they don't give a fuck.
So kind of, but it's a whole different trajectory they're trying to go off of, which they got.
Yes, but the way you fix that is you do that after the fact. That is just literally the basics of business. You don't shoot yourself in the foot when you're about to release the fucking product. Because we got to fix the brand. No, you've already spent the money. You've already spent the resources. You hold off and go, okay, that's it. But going forward, if you want the next thing, it's like a drug deal. Okay, here's a little bit, the first hit. Here you go, enjoy.
This is the split path. It's what's more valuable to you: consoles sold or game software sold.
It's never going to be console sold.
But that's what they're trying to make it. So I mean, at that point, what they have to do is they have to kind of go back to old days where if we don't see a Gears of War E-Day, Series S, Series X bundle in the holidays and stuff like that.
Is it necessarily console sold, or is it just like, because it's on Game Pass, right? E-Day is supposed to. So I mean, they're just trying to reinforce Game Pass. It feels like.
Yes.
I mean,
especially
I
with Activision stuff being taken off of it.
maybe on that end. I mean, it still was. I think at that point, if
It's never going to be console sold because even with the price increases, they've admitted that they're still losing money on consoles. It will, from a console manufacturer's standpoint, it is never about the console
they
sales. It is
they
about
were
the software sales.
did you read the whole? I mean, I can't. I don't. I know you wouldn't have because I know you don't give a shit about the corporate talk, which is absolutely fair. But there was a whole spiel that she kind of went over, just her thoughts and targetings for that thing, and they have and she is going way off the other end. I mean, they got rid of the guy that was really pushing for multi-platform. Like that guy got the oust on Monday. But she's pulling for like we need to create value in this hardware. We need to create.
Yeah, and you do that going forward. You don't
But the
shoot
going
yourself in
forward
the
thing,
fucking
the
foot.
unfortunate thing with that though, the going forward thing means the next Gears in like 3 or 4 years. You like at that point where whatever the next Xbox console is. So
Yeah, and you eat that because you put yourself into a shitty position to begin with.
That's why I think it's crazy about this whole thing too. This isn't even like a numbered Gears entry. This is so
Well, I mean, technically it's Gear 0, but most people aren't weird enough to put like a 0 in front of their games.
right,
Unless you're
but, I mean,
Yakuza.
but we already have a game kind of like this in the Gears franchise. We have Gears Judgment Day,
Judgment.
which
Yeah, we
is
gotta talk about
another
that.
like spin-off game
Yeah.
essentially, and it's kind of like there's already a precedent kind of set, and this is kind of like with the 400 million, is this going to be like the quality
It was
of like
never
a
gonna
Gears
be, though, and
6
that's the
or
thing.
Gear whatever?
And David, that's the kind of thing I want to also reiterate though. Gears Reloaded sold 1 million on PlayStation 5. Again, if it had sold 10 million, I'm on board with you. Fuck it, just sell that thing.
If any game sells 10 million nowadays, it doesn't matter.
Well,
But
compared to 1
a
million,
million is still a respectable number.
I don't think it's worth
For how expensive games have become, a million is still a respectable number.
Sure, but again, at that point, it becomes less of like we can't ignore that number versus that's still ignorable enough, and we can and we're talking about companies, right? Where not saying
Yeah, I'm talking from a corporate perspective. I've lived the majority of my work life in the corporate environment. I can't imagine in any way, shape, or form a fucking board member that actually cares about the survivability of a platform going ahead and looking at the money that has been spent to produce something and not wanting to recoup some fucking cost.
Well,
Which-
I think that just circles back around to like what's happening now, and it feels like almost directly because of all this. Because now the Great Culling is happening, right?
Yes, exactly my point. Again, if you care about the survivability of something,
see, it's funny because I'm also seeing that argument, but I don't see it the way you're saying it.
No, I
I
think you're both
understand.
right. It's
Yeah.
the issue. I think the issue is this has been going on, but now we're seeing the find out part of the fucking around that Microsoft has
And
been
also-
doing really too wrong.
We're seeing a lot of what is different with this CEO versus the past CEO. You know, because like we're talking like quotes from like a month ago of hey, Double Fine and Compulsion. We're talking about and this is the one that throws me the fuck off, right? Because I really wonder what's going on there, which is how Senua was a fucking trailer in this last Xbox thing, and
and then buy
Yeah,
Ninja Blade
which-
or Ninja Theory.
at that point, it's like I think they're watching like analytics of videos too, and being like, "No, this one didn't get enough hype or praise on that, so we're gonna cut."
I
Well, it
don't
makes
think
me
it's that because let's be honest. I mean, Hellblade 2 didn't really push units either.
Yeah, it
And
makes
what
me
was their
wonder, too,
last
like,
game prior to
But
Hellblade 2?
what's the rationality? I mean, unless it's like
Right.
some weird deal they have, which case I imagine Microsoft would be able to usurp that. I forget what was the other example because someone also mentioned it. There was someone also mentioned an example of like someone that had a trailer come up here and just had like less than 1 million views on that like the next day, and everyone's like, and I forget what happened. I wish I remember what.
Yeah,
game it
but
was.
at a corporate level, that's not a decision that they're just like, oh well, we're gonna look at the receipt.
No, I know
That's been a long time coming.
but
Well, it makes me wonder too, like how much of Senua is like an actual game, right? Like, was it just a trailer at that point? Is it something that's
they
actually
got our
being
mocap
like,
in or acting already in.
Hmm.
It's a smaller team, I heard.
Yeah.
But also, respect Ninja Theory. I think they should have been making something different.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure. Yeah. If anything,
They were a
something small,
talented
like,
staff
something in
that
between. Yeah.
So again, we'll jump into that. We'll come back to
yeah
it later. But
yeah we'll circle back later.
because
Yeah.
so there's all that stuff going on. But I no I feel like I keep playing like devil's advocate for Xbox in a lot of ways too. Even though I've for sure voiced how much I've just been like kind of bummed out with the way they've been doing things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it just makes sense, right? So like when you first think about like
It doesn't though. That's the problem.
well, no, in general the whole thing, like Double Fine. If you didn't think when you heard Microsoft utter the words we were going to cut some studios, if Double Fine wasn't like at the top of your list on that end, you're insane. Because
Yeah, like it's unfortunate. They're a darling, but yeah, I get
Right.
it.
like
Right.
and to their credit, which again I'm not trying to be like Court bootlicker or anything, but like a lot of these studios, it was a do or die, and this should have been a prove yourself moment, and this should have been less of like a okay, we can breathe, we can hang out for a while, which yeah, you get that, sure, but also there's like Obsidian was like the gold standard, I think, which yeah, they didn't like put out like crazy stuff. Grounded 200 Hertz doing okay, but like I know Outer
Their
Worlds
thing
too.
though is that they keep themselves busy and like
Yeah.
kind of split themselves up well. Like they're
They-
not
they're
all
very
in on
efficient.
Outer
They're
Worlds too.
incredibly
They
Right,
never
right.
put out anything bad. Full
Grounded
stop. They may not
2,
put out
Outer
things that perform
Wilds
the way they
2.
want, but
Dude,
Well, they divvy up the work so well that they have multiple teams that are like at work on different projects. They're not all in on one. It's not all.
And if you
they're not
remember-
spending 400 million on Grounded 2, right? They have
Right.
backup shit going on.
and they've been mentioned. They've said like Obsidian was like, yeah, we worked project to project. Like when we got sick of Truth, we were cool, and then we had to find our next project right away. But like you see, they Grounded 2, Outer Wilds 2, Pentiment,
Yeah,
Avowed,
Pentiment.
right? Like they were busting out all this stuff. But then you have Double Fine, which made Keeper and Killen,
Kiln,
Killen,
yeah.
which
Kiln, yeah.
I vaguely saw it. I forgot that was even a thing.
It's a battle royale game.
It's a multiplayer game about like making pots, but it has like 20 people online right now,
yeah.
yeah.
which is like
A cute idea, but like it was never gonna
right
succeed.
now. Granted, you you're not Microsoft buying Double Fine for their numbers, because remember Psychonauts 2 was crowdfunded.
Yeah.
If you don't remember that shit was crowdfunded, so they were not there to do that. But also like you have to be producing something, and it should have been like if you're Tim Schafer there, you should have been like, all right, break up into smaller teams that just make like constant content that were just like really more bite sized that we could just make out there, and if we can build
Well,
up momentum, then we'll make like a Psychonauts 3 or something like that too.
I feel like it's so easy too because they have like some shit that they can pull from and just be like, all right, let's pump out like a Brutal Legend 2, and then while we're doing that, we have this passion project going on.
Again, you have Double Fine right there. You have Rare right there. Like what the fuck are you doing with these goddamn studios?
Well, so they're not telling studios you have to make this. We talked about this before, right? I think the smart thing would have been kind of almost putting bounties on them, right? Like, hey, we're hearing Banjo from our fans. Here's a development bonus for anything.
Smash Brothers. We're gonna put fucking Banjo and Smash Brothers. You know what? Just spend the time and effort to go ahead and do like a modern HD.
We will bonus fund any team that wants to make a Banjo game. But instead,
or fuck, even just an HD collection. Here you go.
Now,
fucking make a little remake. Enjoy.
Now, I think from the last era of things, Phil Spencer was afraid to touch the teams and disrupt things because of Scalebound being pushed back as it was. So he really just bought them and said, "Hey, let them do what they want to do. Let them maintain." But unfortunately, a lot of studios just do not have the discipline to pump out consistent content, especially when they have a firm boundary like that. Because creatives are going to keep creating. You know, like you have to have a stopping point. You have to have a deadline. You have to have something to push out. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing things.
I will be the one to take the corporate bullet here and say there's a reason that if your company is being bought out, you're being bought out.
And
like it's the unfortunate reality that for as many indie darlings as there are out there, if you're allowing yourself to be bought out, it's because you are understanding that you as a solo entity can't handle yourself anymore.
And like, again, not trying to bootlick, but let's be so real. I don't think some of these studios would have made it without having been under Microsoft's umbrella.
No, Double Fine
would
literally.
Here.
Yeah, no, they were every game before Psychonauts 2. They were also trying to
Ninja Theory was not going to survive this many years until Hellblade 2 because it took about 5 years to make that.
Yeah.
Took them a while for both of those.
Remember
games.
that was the game they announced like with the Series X.
Actually, no, I think that may have been 7 years at that point then.
I think it was 2019. I want to say 2019 was
Yeah,
was,
so 7 years.
and that was Hellblade 2, and that was last year, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of series wouldn't have survived with that. So I mean, it makes sense why they're cutting some of those on that end. Like that makes sense. The way they're trying to push is they want to push back because I get the whole playing ball game. It worked for Forza and it worked for Sea of Thieves, which makes a lot of sense, right? Because Forza Horizon is really a one of a kind on its end, and it can kind of just beat Gran Turismo on that. And it's kind of funny how Forza Horizon, the spinoff of the main game, is the one that just like holds the crown on it all, right? And Sea of Thieves is a fantastic one to keep multiplat, which if they do not keep that multiplat, that's a fucking that is stupid. You got to keep.
I think they confirm like live service games are going to continue
which is
being
smart.
multiplayer.
Yeah.
But I think Kels is on that, David. You and I are in agreement, but we're kind of looking at it from different sides of the coin there, because like it makes sense why they want to build the console thing. And now it's fucking like 5 years, 6 years too late. You guys should have really done this there, but it is what it is. I do appreciate that at least something is changing. Is it going to be for the best? We'll see in time. But it's kind of crazy seeing how like you kind of wonder because when she first showed up here, when she didn't have any like history as in games or anything, you thought it was gonna be like a surrogate for corporate. Which to be fair, with the way how Microsoft was saying like, oh, we're still open to just selling this thing or spinning it off into Xbox being its own entity. But the way she's like trying to proactively do stuff, it's interesting the way they're going about it, right? Because you also don't do the whole fan service, bring them all out there, give all your hardcore fans a free Xbox, and then Killer Studios the next week. You don't do that without some sort of plan there, like there is an overall arcing thing on there. But I don't know. I think to go back to that, it sucks. The development funds that you sunk into that suck. But I just don't know if the returns would even matter to the point where if it just matters if they just bundle that shit with the consoles, make a special edition on that end, start trying to do something with that. I guess it's kind of where you go with it because like I Gears of War and like whatever the next Halo is are the ones that could potentially sell. But I mean also that's drumming up an old beat, dude. We're talking about your same names trying to sell systems from the 360 days, like this is many years later. They're not as household names as they are or as they once were.
No, they have no new IP, which is the other concerning thing. Like Sony, say what you will, is always constantly trying to find a new IP to make sure that there's something fresh there.
Are they?
Yeah, it's really interesting too to kind of see. Well, not recently with all the remasters.
I don't think it's
no, well, I mean, we still got like Interstellar or not Interstellar, but what are the fucking newest?
Whatever.
Yeah, Intergalactic there. And I feel like they are more open to wanting to. And we had Concord for like a week. Don't forget that.
Don't forget it.
I don't know if somebody's doing anything to do. I you know what? No, the one thing that bugs me. Last night I was sleeping at Kelso. People were like, "Oh, just if only Double Fine was bought by Sony." They shut down Blue Point Games. Not like Sony's doing any better right now, dude. Like they fucked over their entire division trying to do live service games. Like literally, Nintendo's the only one that's kind of actively trying to stay on the course right now, and like holding up decently because of it.
Classic.
Yeah, Sony intentionally set some of their studios up for failure, and honestly, and Blue Point is still the biggest fucking blunder of the recent decade because Jesus Christ, you literally had the premier fucking remake remaster studio in your own house, and you could have just been like, all right, this is what you do now. You just make remakes and remasters. Enjoy. And you could have been banging out so many fucking games with them.
There was that whole issue with that, and then they wanted a new IP after that too, and there was more issues with that. And it's like, all right, well, what the fuck? But that wasn't the biggest blunder. Concord is by far and away.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Secret level famous Concord, which will outlive the game itself by so much.
Yeah, it'll live on an Amazon server somewhere.
I don't think there's even enough of a fan base to make a fan saver.
I think I was just gonna say it's really interesting how Xbox is like doing complete refreshes on like the Xbox games, right? Because we have Fable, We have Gears, and then we have Halo just kind of rebooting, but Halo's the only one that's not going to
Hidden
be
in Perfect
exclusive.
Dark.
Womp,
Dude,
We're
womp.
so close.
I'm sure we'll touch back on this in this afterwards, but just to go back to what we were playing is I'm trying to figure out what my summer game is. I don't know if I'm doing summer games or if I just like maybe I just do the opposite and just barge through as many of them as I can because I had to let my Game Pass lapse for a little bit. And I was like,
Mhm.
I was literally about to hit subscribe again. I was like, I have so many fucking games. Hold on. And I was looking. I even like get up and look at these games. I'm like, let me go look through my library. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should probably try some of these FPS boost games too. You know, like there's a handful of games that like have got the second wind in them. So I actually earlier today I booted up Asura's Wrath.
Hell
Just
yeah.
to go through that. So I'm gonna start going through that.
Greatest game that was fucked over by having its ending in DLC.
Yep. Binary Domain.
That was fun time.
Yeah, I heard I downloaded a handful of the games that got the boost on that end, but yeah, like the Xbox has a lot of potential to, I don't know, just be a cool console with a bunch of homes, but I will come back. We'll come back. Let's get through this. David, you play anything else?
No, that was basically it.
Kels?
Yeah, so I booted up Marvel Rivals.
I was
had
gonna
to try
ask you
Cyclops.
too. I literally was thinking about that today. I'm like, I should just ask this motherfucker to play some games because I was
Yeah,
eyeballing
dude,
it.
hit me up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it this week.
let's do
This
it.
week
Let's
for
play
sure.
after. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I played some Cyclops. He's a lot of fun. He's really cool. Those bastards brought back Scatter Arrow and gave it to
Hell
Cyclops,
yeah,
so
brother.
that's so sick. And then after that, I have been playing a bunch of Kingdom Hearts 1.
Good
God
shit.
damn it. Yeah, the game's so
I
fucking
might
good. It's
see.
so good.
Maybe because I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Mhm.
Because I didn't really enjoy it as much, but I was also it also came at a weird time where I was playing on the Steam Deck. I'm like, maybe this isn't the spot. Maybe I just kind of want to full screen it to make it like feel like a bigger game than it actually is.
Yes,
Um,
it is a console game. You should be
Yeah.
enjoying the console
Yeah,
experience.
so I'm thinking that might be the game I go for next. Because
Yeah, play it and we can
girlfriend likes
we can
the
yeah.
girlfriend likes Disney.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, maybe this might be a
Yeah.
cool way for her to
Also, Kingdom Hearts 1 specifically, don't play it like an action RPG, play it like Dark Souls. It
Oh
it,
yeah.
it is the mentality difference that's important to enjoying the combat in the
What does that
game.
even mean?
You unlock a dodge roll and like relatively early, and you can kind of whack at shit, dodge, use your
Okay,
magic.
yeah, I ended up in Alice in Wonderland. That's where I got to, and then I stopped.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 is very much geared to you basically taking your turn. And like, okay, you go ahead, you get your swings in, but you got to stop, roll away, be defensive for a second, and then go back in when the time is right. Other Kingdom Hearts games are full unga bunga. You can do whatever the fuck you want. But Kingdom Hearts 1 specifically,
Hold up.
treat it like a Dark Souls
We
title.
got breaking news. Talk about what we were just saying right now.
Break these nuts. What happened?
All right, hold on. I don't want.
I think 2 as well, just because it's easier to parry and kind of
Yeah,
recover from
fair.
things.
If you're going for that kind of build, I mean, I feel like you can kind of unga bunga too, but
So, okay, this comes from GameFile.news from War64 about Ninja Theory. Most extraordinary, Ninja Theory even debuted a new game, the third Hellblade game called Senua, at the showcase. By that time the game was revealed, Microsoft had already planned to sunset or split with the studio. The thinking was the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investor interest in the
Oh
studio.
god.
yeah, it's basically what I figured.
So, which you know
Because
what,
again,
which
these corporate decisions take a long time. They
I
don't
will
just suddenly
s-
wake up one day.
I will say.
Well, so
Go
that
ahead.
means the game's probably like nothing right now then, right? It's just a trailer.
I could unless
It's a
unless I watched the Hellblade 2 thing, which is totally valid because I didn't get through that too. But I thought I saw some. I thought I saw an interview of him talking about that game, but maybe I was wrong. But I will say I appreciate because again we'll bring back around. They're not just full on shutting the studio down, get out of here. They're like, all right, well, let's see if we can work a deal out to get you guys to like be alive. So
right.
we have some silver lining there. But yeah, no, I think Kingdom Hearts might be the move. But
It's been a lot of fun so far. I'm like 10, 11 hours in. I just got to Halloween Town.
Okay.
Which is up there. It's like
One
one
of
of
the
my favorite
best areas.
Yep, exactly. It's
Which is
up
the
there as
best
one of my
Kingdom
favorite
Hearts?
areas. 2.
So here's the thing.
one. Is it the 2 the one that all the emo kids liked, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the shit."
No,
No,
no, no.
2
Here's the thing. If you're a Final Fantasy fan, 2 especially is the best.
Well, I think 2 is also just widely regarded as like one of the goated games on PS2 of all
Yes.
time too.
I am the weird. I'm the weird sicko that thinks Chain of Memories is my favorite game. But I do say that objectively, 2 is the best game in the fucking series. It has the most fun combat. It has the most dynamic range of worlds and emotions that you go through. And there are so many fucking hype moments in the game. Again, especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan, there's one moment that happens like midway through the game that like every Final Fantasy fan's like,
That
holy shit, let's go.
that
Well,
bugs me out because like, and I
It's one of the
Go ahead, sorry, I'm interrupting.
no, it's one of those things too, is that Kingdom Hearts 1 is very much an early PS2 game. Meanwhile, Kingdom Hearts 2 is like a late stage PS2
Yes.
game where they had like other Final Fantasy games under their belts and they were just kind of like able to just go
Well,
hog wild with that
and
shit.
This is what bugs
Yeah, it
me
was
out.
very much Square Enix's swan song to the PS2.
This is what bums me out. And this is why I never really got into it because I was never a fan of either of the series. I was never really a big fan of Disney stuff nor Final Fantasy stuff. But it bums me out because I do want to play Kingdom Hearts, but now I'm like, I'm gonna miss out on those moments of the Final Fantasy stuff because I haven't played.
You'll at least have like a portion of it because like the big moment I'm thinking
There's
of.
one big moment,
you'll-
obviously, in like from 7 with Sephiroth and Cloud stuff that I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get some of that. But like, I
Well, I mean, like for 2 specifically, there's a moment that's like a crossover of multiple Final Fantasy games.
But see, and like,
s-
and again, I'm trying. It's not a series. That's why I'm trying to not consider it like that because otherwise my brain's gonna be like, look, I gotta play through all these games before I get to that game.
Yeah.
But that does bum me out because I'm like, I kind of want to play all those games so that way I can appreciate the moments in that game.
Yeah, because especially like the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 1 is like who the fuck are these people? If you never played Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 10.
That is what I was thinking while I was playing.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, Waka and Titus from 10, Selfies from 8. And then but it's weird because like Selfie is a kid, but we got Squall who's an adult. Still, it's fucking weird. But
So if I do opt out, let's say this. I
Yeah.
have about 2 weeks of June, and then I get to July. Maybe like halfway through July, when I come back from my Arizona trip. Maybe I start doing Kingdom Hearts then. Let's give myself like a hypothetical month. What should be the Final Fantasy game I play if I do pick that? Because I'm not even sure I'll do that. But if there's a Final
9,
Fantasy,
9, 9,
All
9,
right, you're too white to be saying that.
9 or Tactics are the Final Fantasies you should be playing from your backlog.
Does that
Uh,
work towards Kingdom Hearts appreciation? 9 does.
No. Well, 9 does because Vivi is in Kingdom Hearts 2. If you wanted to better appreciate Kingdom Hearts, you need to play Final Fantasy 8. But Final Fantasy 8 is a highly contested game in the series.
So let's say, let me ask-
I'd argue 7's more important.
And he's already played through 7.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. Like I think 7
It is important because Leon is
Right.
fucking important throughout a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Right.
So am I hearing this correctly? If I wanted this, and let's just this hypothetical quote unquote full experience, it's 7, 8, and 9 that I would need to be playing for Final Fantasies to appreciate.
Well, it's 7 and 8 are the key ones. And then, like, if you want the full appreciation, then you need to add 6, you need to add 9, you need to add 4.
So 4, 6. I'm trying. What are all the games that we're gonna get? Like 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah,
7,
but if you want, like, if you just want to go into it with like the minimal amount of appreciation, like these are the main characters you're going to be interacting with. Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Yuffie make up the vast majority of the Final Fantasy roster you'll interact with,
and that's
and then
7.
from there, Squall is the other one that is like the major character, and he's from 8. He is literally the protagonist of 8.
Yeah, okay. Because I was thinking about that, and then you know what? On my list too is also maybe I should finally play through Rebirth.
I guess I don't know if you said that.
I was thinking about finally playing through Rebirth too. I was like, I
No, what Kel said.
Oh, I didn't know if you said Sephiroth, but throw him.
Yeah,
in.
and Sephiroth. And then Tyson Walker from 10, but they're literally only in the first game for
nothing,
most
yeah.
part. Yeah.
They're just characters to be there. That's
Yeah.
the weird thing. So a lot of them are just there to be there and literally nothing else besides little haha, hey, look, another guy that you know. And
Yeah,
then there's some of them that are like super important that they'll they'll give you something later on that kind of helps you out, or like they'll appear in a cutscene, blah blah blah.
Basically, the 7 casts is the primary ones you have to be concerned with. But if you want like the full appreciation of it, you would need to at least play 8 because Squall/Leon is a major other character within Kingdom
I
Hearts.
played 7. I can play 8 and then just go into Kingdom Hearts, and that's.
But I don't want you to play 8 because 8's fine, but
Yes,
like
what you're
9
saying
and
is
Tactics are the
correct,
best
Adrian.
games.
But he's correct as well.
You're also
So
not
okay, but here's also the problem because here's the thing: if you open up that wellspring, it's a long time before you even play Kingdom Hearts 2 because you still need to
Oh,
play
I get
Kingdom
that,
Hearts
yeah.
1. Then you need to play Chain of Memories, and then after you've gone through both endings of Chain of Memories, then you can play Kingdom
and
Hearts 2.
truthfully, part of me is also like I said, it's like part of me is also like, let's play through Rebirth. That way I can play through whatever was it, Revelations they said.
Yeah, Revelations.
Maybe I.
We'll talk.
Maybe I.
That's
We'll
what
talk
they-
about Revelations a lot more later here.
But but then part of me, I needed to not. Part of me is like I should go back and replay through remake to play Intergrade as well and get refreshed. But I know because once I'm done with remake, you can't, and I can't do back-to-back games because I get burnt out. So I'm not doing remake and Rebirth back to back. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking hate this franchise.
No,
especially
especially
Rebirth
those
is
2 games.
long as fuck compared to
That's
Remake.
what I'm thinking of, and also because I have a summer, right? I'm trying to figure out, do I just knock out a big game? That's what I did last year, right? I did like Breath of the Wild. I 100% that game as best I could. So I'm like, maybe I do Rebirth, maybe I do, but then like Baldur's Gate 3 is right there. I'm like, maybe I do that.
I'm gonna phrase it this way: if you actually want to explore Final Fantasy's lineage, play 9 or Tactics. Those are the 2
No, I mean, I'm
gold
gonna play
standard
through those
games.
eventually.
But here's what I'm saying though. If you want to explore specifically Final Fantasy's lineage, those are the 2 cornerstones of the franchise. However, if truly your end goal is at some point you want to appreciate Kingdom Hearts, then yeah, you should play through 8.
Well, yeah,
Because 8
probably
is
gonna still.
the only other Final Fantasy aside from 7 that you really need to play through to fully appreciate a lot of the moments in the game.
I'm curious as to do I have to play all these other updated ones for 4 because it looks like it's gonna be a lot of Final Fantasy shit and
No, you only have to play like technically
No.
the original 4
And
for
Kingdom
the
Hearts 4.
references. Oh, Kingdom Hearts. Oh no, Kingdom Hearts 4. You're gonna have to play. You're gonna have to read about canceled mobile games to understand Kingdom Hearts 4.
fucking near
Well,
ass.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to work my way through like all the 1.5, 0.28, 0.89, whatever the fuck. So I'm trying to get all caught up, fresh on it before 4 comes out. So join me. On that journey.
I'm. That's gonna be one of the things during my break. I'm gonna try to
if
do
we
is finish getting my
do-
wife.
What if we?
I'm
end up
telling you,
turning-
dude. Game's gone by. Let's go. I'm
I'm
12 hours in.
Hold horses here. What if instead of it was doing games gone by, we're bouncing through games? What if we did like? So there. Have you guys ever heard of the Dissect podcast?
No.
It's this
Sounds dumb.
like you would love it. Funny you say that because you would love it. It's this podcast where this guy like fucking scuba dives through fucking music. Like we're talking like he breaks that shit down to like a fucking absurd amount to a point where like some people are like, all right, we don't need this much of a fucking breakdown of Daft Punk music, but he breaks the fuck down out of Daft Punk. He's like, here, then in this part you can hear this sort of like chime in a different note through here, which is
I
how-
went ahead and I found the fucking person whistling on the bus that went ahead and inspired them to make this one tempo.
So no, like we're talking almost like that. Like he
Jesus Christ.
like through Digital Love, he talks about how like there's one note that he's like, I love this album already. He's like, that's why he like why he was doing it. But he's like, there's one note in here that I didn't hear until because he has listened to his music over and over when he's doing these episodes. He's like, and I heard this chime that was actually different notes on here to indicate that he's waking up from a dream during this exact moment here. It's like crazy. But I'm like, but the way he does it, the show is that he'll do a season and then just take off for a little while and just do other like content stuff, and they'll come back with a whole season based off another album. So he did like Kendrick's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He did Daft Punk's Discovery. He'll come back and do an album. So what if whatever like book club game podcast we do is chunked out into like a series of like games like that though? Like, hey, here's the Kingdom Hearts thing. Here is the Remedyverse, Kels. That's how we.
You know what?
that's how
You
we-
start us off with Kingdom Hearts. I will dive through every single Remedyverse game right after that. I will commit to that. If you are going to be a mad lad and say, you know what, let's dive into all of Kingdom Hearts, sold. You got me because I've already won at that point. So yes, I will dive through any and every Remedyverse going forward. If you suddenly
Oh yeah,
decide like,
we
yeah,
just
let's
have to,
get you prepped for
yeah,
Kingdom
we'd have to figure
Hearts.
out how it works because obviously like an album versus like a fucking video game is different just by nature.
Especially with
Just-
Kingdom Hearts, because you can't just play the collections and get the full experience of the Kingdom Hearts.
Right, but and also like I just said, right, is like you can't just play through all these without getting burnt out, right? You can't do a Final Fantasy series like that. It had to be like maybe you deep dive to Kingdom Hearts 1 maybe or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe something on that end because I still stand by doing a Games Gone By thing is still cool, but I just with just how crazy everything is, and on my trip I had a little bit of connection, so I did the Forbidden thing. I looked up a little bit of work stuff. I looked at my my roster for next year and all the kids I have, and I immediately closed it. I'm like, no, because I'm already stressed out. I'm already like not ready for
Fair.
this next year. So I don't know how derailed things are gonna get, but we'll put that on the brain burner right now. And we'll see if there's a way we can formulate that to make sense too. Because yeah, I don't mind doing like a breakdown thing like that, almost like because yeah, I mean you could do shit like that pretty easily with Nier and stuff too. But it could be like I don't know, just brainstorm it for a little bit. But yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out what to do for summer stuff too. Like I mentioned, also I download a bunch of old games too. I love to go through like Splinter Cell. I've never really got through Splinter Cell before. That seems like it'd be kind of fun.
Phenomenal series.
Yeah, I almost downloaded Rainbow Six Vegas last night.
Oh,
Terror stunt? Hell yeah, baby.
Yeah. Um, Lost Planet.
Dude, that's one I keep hoping and wishing Capcom brings back eventually.
Until they just fucking
Yeah.
until they just fucked over 3.
Give me Lost Planet 4, baby. I'll take it.
one day.
Um,
We'll get it as soon as we get Dino Crisis again.
I downloaded
You know what?
Burnout
I'll
Revenge.
change my opinion. We'll get it as soon as we get Breath of Fire again.
But yeah, no, there's a lot of games I want to figure out, so we'll see. That was 'cause I was playing Kingdom Hearts, and then yeah, I haven't really played anything because I was out all week without electricity. Uh, circling back to Xbox here for news.
Hell yeah.
We talked about Ninja Theory. Compulsion was another one that also is up on the chopping block, which
Yes.
makes sense. South of Midnight did not make numbers.
No, none of their releases really have, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And South of Midnight also took like 7 years to make.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense when you're going for like a whole different genre than you're used to and stuff like that, but I don't know. Part of me too, again, it's like
But part of the problem is also Compulsion Studios is a studio that they basically kept tearing apart the development team every time they were done a game. And we're like, all right, let's reorg some of you people.
yeah.
Which is the other problem with Microsoft in terms of their game division is like for some of the studios, they're like, all right, cool, let's break up your team, let's move you to other places, and then let's rehire a new team. Well, you keep doing that, everyone is starting from fucking scratch every goddamn time you make a new game.
Well, it's also you guys should every studio. I don't want to like blame them for just the unfortunate situation of the game industry too, but it's like it really should have just. And I'm gonna make it sound a lot easier than it actually is, I'm sure. But it's like you guys should have been multiple teams, right? Because even Playground, right? They're taking a long time with Fable, which to be fair, it's a brand new genre and a huge ass game that they're not used to. But they didn't stop Forza Horizon, you know.
Yeah, but they're also they're allocated the budget to be multiple teams.
Yeah, I get that too. But then again, Obsidian,
Again, they're allocated the budget to be multiple teams.
I'm fairly sure they've been the exact same project.
No, they are one of the teams that keep getting team members from other departments.
When they started up,
Not when they started up initially, but again, part of the whole problem with Convulsion Games is they keep having all of their team members after a release poached and sent to other teams in the company.
hold on, I want to see what the release state is before they got to Microsoft. Let's see. So I guess yeah, they had the foundations and no, so they had the foundations of multiple team, I guess, because they had Stick of Truth, 2014, Pillars of Eternity, 2015, Skyforge, 2015, Pathfinder Adventures, 2016, Armored Warfare, 2015, Tyranny, 2016, Pillars of Eternity 2, 2018, then Outer Worlds, 2019. So they've been juggling multiple kinds of games that way too, but really that's the way you gotta survive, is you gotta have like some sort of just constant like offset output just to keep producing stuff too, because like Double Fine, let's go Double Fine real quick.
The Double Fine's done like fuck all in the last long time.
Until like this last year, they haven't really done anything. Let's see.
But again, my point, like the last game Convulsion Games released before getting acquired Microsoft was We Happy Few, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, they only made those 2 games, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, they weren't given any budget to be able to do anything else, and they kept having their talent poached for other teams. It's the same as Sony setting up fucking Blueprint for failure.
Blue Point. What were they saying? They were taking Compulsion Games people?
Yes, Compulsion Games was a feeder studio for a lot of other studios.
Where'd you hear that from?
It was going around on LinkedIn a little bit earlier.
Because I know that the way that Microsoft Studios was working is that they were helping out with their expertise for certain things. So, like this team would help out this team with something on this that they knew really well. This team would help out this team with this thing they knew really well.
I gotta see if I can find it again, but it was a post that was going around on LinkedIn, and it was basically confirmation that a lot of teams were just outright being disbanded and having their members sent to other teams.
Because I know they worked together in tandem. That was a big selling point that a lot of the developers actually talked about too. They would work together on certain things.
Yeah, but when they were working together, they were being taken off their original teams.
They spoke pretty positively of it though, and they didn't need to say it to begin with if there was a complaint about it.
Yes, but that's because again, they weren't expecting that was going to lead to them being removed because they weren't producing enough.
Maybe, but I mean, I'm trying to play devil's advocate on that too. It's like maybe
you need to stop though, because that's like that's disingenuous in this conversation. There's a time and a place for a devil's advocate. Playing devil's advocate to like, hey, we've intentionally fucked you over, and we're gonna let you go because of that. That's kind of, it's a little gross. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, come on.
No, but I mean, it's not necessarily for that aspect. I mean, it's just project development in general, though. We're talking again.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. Is they have fucking sucked at it because they are basically tying a lot of devs' hands behind their back and saying, "Be better."
No.
Like,
no. You're getting this mixed up a little bit. It's also project scope. Project scope is huge.
Yes, which has been dictated by Microsoft on some of these projects. Yes.
I don't see how Obsidian gets special treatment to do Pentiment, which is a very small game on the side. But like, we're going 2018 to 2025 with like Compulsion, for example, from any releases whatsoever. So you're talking
and
7
again,
years of
ultimately
studio.
that is a Microsoft choice. Again, also because they have taken away developers from that team
to make the to project proposal though. I'm saying like the South. Maybe I'm wrong because I have not played We Happy Few too much. I've seen videos of it, but like the project.
Yes, Compulsion Games. They have had a lot of their developers taken from them.
No.
Well, the weird thing about We Happy Few is it was one of those games that was just eternally in early access, right? And did it ever get like a full like?
It did eventually.
Release?
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so it's like one of those. I think it's one of those games that, regardless, like it was losing a bunch of people, and it was just like a bunch of turnover, regardless, just because it was essentially.
Yeah, it was a studio that was never going to last on its own. Don't get me wrong, 100%. If Microsoft didn't buy them, they weren't going anywhere.
And I think that's like one of the weird things with all this too. Like all of these studios were not greatly managed.
That's what I'm getting at with this.
And for some reason, Xbox or Microsoft was like, "Hey, we're going to buy these studios that are clearly not being well managed, and they all have like the similar issues going on with them."
Yeah,
but they take.
But that's my point. That's my point. My problem
and
with the playing devil's advocate aspect is okay. Microsoft went ahead and bought them. Great. Now you go ahead and you just start stripping the studio out. Fuck you, because that wasn't clearly your intent from the beginning, was to take the talent out of it.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say I don't think it's as extreme as you were thinking of it. I'm sure that's not 100% blanketed, but I keep my ear enough to that stuff, and I've not heard that at all whatsoever.
Well, I'm
That's
sure
been
they-
100% what's been going around LinkedIn today.
Well, I'm sure they did or whatever,
I-
but regardless, like I think Microsoft has just been like terrible managing at this, and like
Yeah.
these
Yes.
studios are just getting away with murder. Like
Well,
they're taking Microsoft or everything that they had just to keep like a steady income and keeping people steady at a job, but they're just not turning out anything.
That's what I'm
and
saying,
Microsoft's
too.
Kind of been fine with it.
like, yeah, Microsoft does not manage this stuff because they're trying to play hands off. Like Phil Spencer has had interviews, I've listened to them, where he says he does hands off on this because he's like, we like even with like the bigger mergers, like we just let them just do whatever they're existing the exact same way they're existing before.
But the problem is that again,
I don't
what
think
I'm
it's
saying is they're not entirely hands off. That is the crux of what I am saying, is because if you're taking talent away from the original teams, you're not hands off. You're hands off in that go ahead, do whatever you want, but you're not hands off from a leadership perspective because you are taking talent away from.
I don't think it was this much. I think you're kind of looking at someone helping, in which case putting on LinkedIn makes sense. But I'm gonna go look it up. But it's Compulsion Games LinkedIn is where we're looking at. Is that what you're saying? LinkedIn.
Yeah, it was a lot of what I was seeing going around LinkedIn today.
Because I've never heard about them like viciously like, no, I'm pulling you from this team, that team, because that doesn't make sense because you're talking about studios that are based in whole different cities and removing someone to put them on other things like that.
What are you talking about? This makes sense. That's literally been a lot of the games industry for the majority of its
remotely moving
inception.
someone from a whole different studio is different than it is like moving in between like still in-house studios. Like if you're under the umbrella of like a Ubisoft like that you're based in different cities, they'll help each other out in different cities. But you're talking about a whole different company entity moving like poached on a bigger scale of like we're just taking your guy and putting him on ours. Because I have heard, like I said, the only closest thing I've heard was they would have like group meetings as a whole and they would help each other out to like benefit. Like I think it was like the coalition, the Gears guys would actually send some of their people to like help other teams understand Unreal Engine. Like I've heard that being the thing. In which case, yes, if you were helping someone out like understand Unreal Engine, that's not you leaving your whole team. That's helping.
That is though. That is literally part of it, because it's not like you're just showing up for a day and saying, "Hey, here's how it works."
Yeah, no,
like
the
that is a
conversation that was
month-long project.
the conversation that was put in there is it's not like that. It's not that egregious on that end. You're talking about like it's not like they're leaving this person for months. It's like it was a very short stint on these ends.
No, you're not teaching someone fucking Unreal Engine in like a couple days. That is a
They're
month
helping
to
them,
like
like-
a year-long project.
Yeah, but
Well, that's also been an issue with Halo, right? Because that was like one of the big stories that came out about 343 is that they're working contract workers and they just recycle people, bring new people in that haven't been working on the game at all, and expect them to just be like, "Hey, yeah, we're gonna pump out shit for the game and it's gonna be good." It's like, no, this doesn't work like that.
yeah, and for
These
the
people
contract
are-
workers, yeah, that also you don't build any sort of studio camaraderie because you don't know who this fucking guy is.
Which,
And they
yes,
don't
that
know
is the
what
other
to
huge
work on.
aspect, is Microsoft for a long time has been backfilling a lot of positions at all these companies with contractor roles. There is an insane amount of nuance to this conversation. I don't disagree with the heart of what you're trying to say. I'm just saying it's disingenuous to say that Microsoft wasn't setting these studios up for failure, and that it's kind of disgusting of Microsoft to be like, well, you didn't meet what we were expecting of you, because at the end of the day, you failed as a leader to try and provide what you were trying to do, which is the same thing I'll say of Sony. You failed at the end of the day to actually provide what you wanted of your studios to make something. Fucking putting Bluepoint and like 7 other studios on making live service games because you have a fucking cock in your ass and thinking that's going to be the way you're just going to print fucking money because you're so detached from the reality of the fucking business.
But that's difference because you're literally forcing your team to make a game that they don't even want to do. You're forcing your teams into live action stuff, whereas this is the opposite, where Microsoft just was not telling them what to do ever. They were not giving them these hard deadlines on that end too. On that end, they did not give them deadlines on that, David.
No, I am not disagreeing with that point. I am saying that they still took away resources from other teams and still said, okay, you can do what you want, and we're going to give you no actual support aside from these other studios that we care more about. So they were just harvesting resources, harvesting talent, hiring contractors. They were still intentionally setting these studios up for failure. That is my whole point. Everything Microsoft was doing was setting up these studios for failure and then saying, fuck you.
I don't. I want to see the link on that because I don't see where that is on that end. Because yeah, no, any sort of uh talk about like, oh yeah, our studios are helping each other like do this. It was never even said like in that sort of way. It was said in a very beneficial way.
Bro, helping a studio out is not like, oh, I'm just fucking showing up for a fucking afternoon.
But it
That
wasn't.
is a
It didn't make it
months to
sound
a
like it
year
was like we're
project.
losing our big team to do this. It's like we're helping the studio out. And it
No,
was never said.
it-
And it was never
It's a
said.
death. What I'm saying is, it's the death of a thousand cuts. You keep taking away fucking talent from fucking projects, and you do it enough to where it's like, okay, we're gonna fucking go ahead and have Greg work on, with this team for a while. We're gonna have Susie work on this team for a while. We're gonna have fucking Javier work on this fucking team for a while. You keep going ahead and you piecemealing out all these different
You're
individual
saying
fucking
Microsoft forced them to do all that.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Is that all of them were said, "Hey, you're going to go work with these people for a while. We're taking you away from your
I
original
need to see
team.
the article.
You're
On
going
that,
to
'cause
go work with
I
that."
didn't hear that. The closest thing I saw.
It's
Was
not
I mean,
an article. It's what I keep saying. Is
well-
it's individuals on LinkedIn that have come out and said this
I mean,
shit.
it makes sense, right? Because if Compulsion's not putting anything out for however long that it took them, I mean, they're gonna be like, "Hey, you're not doing anything. You over here, you're gonna be working on Forza Horizon here for a little bit. You, hey, over here, we need you pumping out Jay and Silent Bob DLC for Call of Duty." So I
Yes.
mean, it sounds right, but I mean, I don't think that's wholly a Microsoft pimping them out issue. I think it's an
Yeah.
issue on the studio.
No, but again,
not-
my whole crux is that it's a part of the larger issue of Microsoft setting them up for failure. They did nothing to go ahead and put
I think it's a
guardrails in
vicious
place.
cycle. I think Microsoft gave these foolish idiots all the money and time in the world to do whatever the fuck they felt like it. So Microsoft fucked up managing there, and these studios, for some, it's weird because we have the good example, Obsidian over here. These guys knew, hey, we need to have a plan going forward. We can't put it all on Outer Worlds. We have to have 4 or 5 different
Grounded
games
and all
going
this, yeah.
on. Pitch all this, go. While these other studios over here, like Double Fine, just
All right, cool. We don't
shit
have
in the
to. We don't have to
bed.
worry about our funding for a while. Let's just chill and let's make a cool game and take however long we need to. And
Make-
I
make
blame
a niche game
Microsoft.
that eventually is going to kill the studio.
I blame Microsoft on the end of like maybe you should have overseen these studios on that end, but also like on that same end too. One bad mistake and everyone's like bitching about Microsoft. Oh, the studio was so much better without when Microsoft wasn't here. I don't. I can't have always heard the fact that Microsoft was hands off. Like Phil Spencer's talking about, like I don't do anything with these studios. Everything they're doing is like on them. I don't think this is the same that studio that's done all that, which is very apparent with how this. With the way it's always been Microsoft has been hands off, and that's very obvious with the way things are. If you're looking at all these like indie studios that don't have the time management issues, that's how they just always operate. Just slow, and it takes forever on that end. I just don't see how that is Microsoft's. I don't see how Microsoft's also like being hands off, but also the one commandeering and saying you're on this, like in that sort of sense on that end. It just makes sense they're gonna put
I
like
think it's just because of how hands off they were. Eventually, the cows come home to roost, and it's like, okay, now you're not outputting anything because we haven't been putting the reins to you. All right, we're gonna have to start making something happen here. And
Yes,
it-
Kel's is exactly getting to kind of part of my point. Is
so it's like a slow, steep, gradual decline until eventually we're reaching the point where like, okay, we're moving you here, and then after a few more months, like, sorry guys, I guess we're just gonna have to start letting people go now because we've already filled all these other spots.
Exactly. That's entirely my point. Is you go ahead and you do nothing to actually lead these teams. You bought them, you just gave them a blank check, and then you say, okay, fucking keep doing what you're doing. And then, well, seems how you're not producing anything. I'm gonna take, again, I'm gonna take Jarrett away and Jarrett's gonna go ahead and help the fucking Gears guys work on something. Okay, you're still not producing anything major. Cool. I'm gonna take fucking Carol over here, and Carol's gonna go help the Forza guys. Oh shit, you're still not producing anything. Cool. I'm gonna take Keith, and Keith is gonna go ahead and help the fucking Halo guys with something. So again, it's the death of 1,000 cuts. You go ahead, you fucking don't do anything with the studio you actually produce. You say, here's just a blank check, do what you fucking want. But then in the meantime, because they're not producing the things that you're hoping for, the things you need them to, and you say, all right, I'm gonna just rip away your talent. Oh shit, you need them? Well, we'll just backfill you with a fucking contractor and enjoy.
I don't think they did that. On 343, yes. They
I'm
literally...
I'm of the opinion they probably did do that, but I think it's also it's not all Microsoft's fault. Like the studios have to be held
when they got the deal in,
but they just weren't.
I'm sure when they got the deal in, it was on contract. Like, hey, we just want you guys to make games for us and just do what you guys are doing. That's literally what when go back to the interviews when I was looking back at
I don't give a fuck about the Adrian. I don't give a fuck about the corporate spin interviews. I do not give a fuck. At the end of the day, you can't tell me
that a corporate if your studio was getting bought out by Microsoft's going to buy your studio right now, do you want them to be like, all right, we're going to take control of you, we're going to start managing some of this stuff for you? Do you want that?
That's 100% the whole fucking point of it. No. That is 1,000% the point of a fucking company buying another company. This is I'm going to go ahead. Again, I have spent the vast majority of my fucking career in the corporate space. That is 1,000% the entire fucking point of a company buying at another company is, okay, you were too weak to stand on your own. We own you now. Congratulations. We're running you now. And again, sometimes it works out horribly in the case of Sony, where Sony says, all right, all of you fuckers that don't do live service games, congratulations, you're now just doing live service games. And you set your studios up for failure that way. And they're like, oh man, this fucking remake studio, oh man, I don't get why they're not doing live service game. Oh, this fucking company that predominantly makes action adventure games, why aren't you going ahead and pumping out the next goddamn fucking Fortnite? Ah, you pieces of shit. Like, yeah, Sony, again, fucking horrible for that. But then you have on the other side of the spectrum the insanely hands-off until, oh well, you're not producing anything. So again, first-hand accounts, even you yourself are saying first-hand accounts, yeah, I went to go fucking work on this other shit because I wasn't doing anything. And that's entirely my point. Either way, it is a failure of leadership. And then when you're failing as a leadership of an organization that has bought out another company, to then go ahead and, well, you're not doing anything, so I'm just going to borrow you, thus further compounding the fucking problem of shit's already not being done, and then you further remove the hands that would allow things to get done.
Yeah, so when I'm with you at the very beginning. I start to trail off on the end, specifically because there is each of these studios was run independently. They had their own studio head on there, and I could promise you that they all wanted that independence on things. I can promise you that studios
doesn't matter what they want. That is how corporate works.
That's on them too, though. Like, yes, Microsoft should have managed this all more than they did, but also the studios went and they're not stupid. They've been running it. None of these studios are brand like the biggest indications you have of Microsoft is a bad studio leader.
No, again, that is not the point I'm arguing. That is full stop, not the point I'm arguing.
The biggest instance you have of a studio being shittily run, which Microsoft has plenty of those, 343 Studios, which fucking collapsed in on itself as it get rebranded. Fucking what was it? What was the Perfect Dark studio? I already forgot their name.
Rare?
No, the one that failed Perfect Dark.
Yeah, good question.
The Initiative.
Yeah.
Like all these studios with Microsoft's hands on, here's what we're doing, fall apart in a glorious fashion. So I'm sure that when they were hands off on this too, it was both ends of the stick. They were too hands on this shit and it fucking sucked. They were so not hands on this stuff that it sucked too. But also on that end, I am gonna put also some blame on the actual studios because they do still have studio leaders on that end. They still have to manage this stuff. They knew what they were getting themselves into. You have to know at the back end too. Like again, I just use the fact that I think Obsidian just did the smartest on that end. They just knew we have to still. Doesn't mean just because we have someone above us that's giving us money that we just take forever. If a studio contracts me and says, "Hey, we want your next movie," I'm like, "Cool. Here's $100 million. Cool. I'm not just gonna sit there and make something just forever. I want to make sure I have the next project and get that more money later on to funnel it to the project. So I'm not saying that I'm not saying Microsoft's totally fine on this. I am just putting more blame on that end because on the other end, I can't blame studios on Sony's end for forcing them into a live service stuff. Like I'm not gonna blame Naughty Dog for a failed what was it? The failed the multiplayer.
Factions.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
blame fucking Naughty Dog for not making fucking factions in the It's like no, that was because Sony just had a catastrophe on that end by managing that shit. You know, I'm not gonna blame them for not making for Insomniac stumbling a little bit and not making a Spider-Verse thing because it was Sony doing that on it. But I can say that there is mismanagement even inside of the other studios individually from them not managing their actual projects more because they were so hands off. It's like, hey, do this. You don't just take the golden egg on that end because these studios, we've said, these studios will fail earlier. Double Fine wouldn't even.
Her fucking point. That is the
You
root
keep
of
cutting
part
me
of what
off
I've been
on some
saying.
parts here
Is I
too.
don't give a fuck. Let the studios die and fail. That is literally my point. Microsoft took them over. My entire point is with Microsoft's leadership. I don't give a fuck about the studio themselves. I have made that very clear, and I've said several times the studio would crash and burn if Microsoft hadn't fucking bought them
so they're
out.
crashing and
That is the
burning now, then.
entire point of corporate acquisition. You have failed to be able to sustain yourself, and you're in a weak enough position that you are going to let someone else own you. That is in the whole point of fucking corporate.
Okay, but
That was
they're
never
failing
my
now, So
point.
what's the issue then? I mean, we just gave them extra
The
couple
whole
years.
point is Microsoft fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that is literally the entire thing that I've been fucking saying.
I never said
like
they didn't
I don't
either.
know in how many other ways I can phrase it.
I don't. We're agreeing here. We're just like not agreeing on one like part of it. But we're agreeing overall with it.
I'm gonna go B.
Piss this man off, literally.
He filled his balls full of piss, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I'm like, studios should just pushed out more. Like, sucks, but I don't know. If I'm Double Fine, I know how my output is, and I was looking at them just a second ago. 20.
Oh yeah, no, like I think these studios have just been kind of taking Microsoft for whatever they got, but now it's kind of like time to pay the piper is kind of the issue here.
I
It's
think
like-
that, and like I it sounds because I know David's
part-
like extremely like anti-corporation on that, which I understand
Right.
wholeheartedly. I get that. I don't want
Right,
I
like
get
get
what
your
I'm saying.
bag, like that's fine. Like take Microsoft for all they got. I don't care. Fuck yeah, do that. Yes, Queen. But at one point, these people they're gonna be coming at you, and they're gonna be wanting their money back.
Yeah, like-
and that might involve you just being out of a job. And
Yeah,
if that
that's-
happens, that's kind of the choice that you made.
Right, and they signed the paperwork on this. If they didn't want to have any sort of issue with this, then they would have signed the paper. They could have kept going. They would have died off earlier. They know they got an extra parachute on that end.
And that's the issue of like why it's completely and utterly like mismanagement issues, because like you said, Obsidian, you see how they set themselves up to continuously have a flow of income through their games that they're actively producing. Like they're actively have something in the pipeline. It's not contingent on one game or two games being like
Mhm.
their linchpins. Meanwhile, you have something like the Double Fine doing the big Psychonauts 2 that they had to crowdfund for, and now they're doing Kiln and Keeper and like these small
So,
indie
look,
games.
like-
that
like-
it's like
But even then, like look, so 2015. We'll start from 2015. Grim Fandango remastered, Massive Chalice. 2016.
Master Chalice was lit. I did like that
yeah,
game.
I love Double Fine. Remember, they also had the Kickstarter for Broken Age that also
Broken Age, yeah,
had to be broken up into two parts.
yeah.
Like they've had a history of mismanagement, but like Microsoft for buying them, sure, but also that should have been like your second win to be like, all right, cool, let's figure this shit out now.
Right. We have this opportunity that we would not have had. Now
Yeah.
let's get the shit straight. And they just didn't get it straight.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I don't want to blame the studio for that, but I mean,
That would have been like if
What are you
I'm
gonna do?
Double Fine and I'm still sitting on what it took them an extra like 3 years to make Psychonauts 2, I think it was, because they got 2018, I think it got bought, in 2021 Psychonauts 2 came out. I would have remastered Psychonauts 1.
yeah, that's a big one. It's like, where's like a remake or a remaster of the first one?
Yeah, you guys just had like the FPS boost and it looks polished and but it's like no, I would have remade Psychonauts 1. I'd be like, all right, cool. Actually, we have a full development. If anything, I'm talking like it's easy, right? But I'm like, if anything, I would have like reeled back production a bit on Psychonauts 2. It's gonna take us forever a little bit, so let's just keep that pipeline going. Can we break a team
Right.
off right now, remaster this game so we get people excited for Psychonauts 2? and they keep that ball rolling from that end. Like, you can look back at all these studios that have this thing. Like, even let's go Ninja Theory now. I get where David's at with this, but like it just, to me, it just seems also like I don't know, like that sucks you're getting shut down now. But to me also, it's like, all right, you got shut down now, but you would have been shut down 2 years ago if not for that golden parachute that you kind of got.
Right. You had this opportunity to kind of reinvent yourself or like add more to what you're doing, but you instead you just double down on what you're
Remember
doing. That wasn't working in the first place.
I forgot they made Bleeding Edge in 2020. Remember that?
Right.
I
Yeah.
forgot all about that. But so from and the issue here is they're not, these studios are not prestige, right? So like Naughty Dog can get away, I guess, with doing the Rockstar thing, which like we got one game out every 2 decades apparently. But like I guess that kind of works for them. They put themselves with that.
Well, even then, like if Intergalactic doesn't sell, like it's gonna
Factions,
come back to bite them for that.
Factions has been hurting them too, right? So like
Right.
like GTA is really the only one that can take forever, whatever. But like you're talking, let's just take 2010 to 2019. They had, and this is, and let me let's see, 1, 2. I'm gonna ignore Android, iPhone games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll put 8 games on there. I'm gonna take out a couple of them, like Senua Sacrifice VR. I'll take out like I said, 7 games from 2010 to 2019. From 2020 to 2027, they've had 3. One being a catastrophic failure. Actually, not even. They've had 2 because Senua is not even out. They had Bleeding Edge and Hellblade 2. And
that's crazy.
In 6 years, like that. Again, sucks, but like it's showing like the output of like these studios. Like they need to also do that end of the work. Like it's not a situation where it's like, I guess the way I'm looking at the way David's seeing it is like where you guys are like our coach. Like the player got signed onto a team, coach has to coach his team up there. I don't see it that way. I see it as like whatever was on ink is on ink. You just kind of know you got to produce these things, and that's what it's a transactional versus like a coaching thing. They're not obligated.
I see
to
it as like
you.
I see it as a level higher. Like they're the GMs or like they're the owner, and they're expecting the studio to already have the coach in place to lead the team to success, right?
The GM
like it's like
bought the team. All right, guys, go play.
Right, and they're
the
expecting
GM is not coaching.
Right, they're expecting it to already be like a well-oiled team. That's well, not even that, because like the teams, like we were talking about, the teams have already been struggling, or they're like pretty much Microsoft has given them like their one last chance. So it's one of those weird things. Like Microsoft should know, like, hey, we have to have these guys on a short leash, but for some reason they still like just cashing the checks for them. And it's like we were saying, it's just a complete mismanagement on both ends there. Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you just letting them roam free? And then on the other hand, it's like, why are you just taking all this leash that they're giving you? You're gonna hang yourself by it.
Right. I see it more on that level though versus a more personal level, I guess. But either way, the output as a games industry as a whole needs to be reshaped. Like this whole, we need to spend 5 years on making this game that our entire livelihood depends on. It needs to not be the thing. They need smaller projects needs to be a thing, and it's like if everyone wasn't foreseeing that for a long while now.
Yeah, give me smaller games, give me uglier games, give me shorter games.
That's kind of the point, right? It's like especially with Game Pass, right? It's with Netflix. It's like Netflix, yeah, you hear about some of the big stuff, but they put a lot of bullshit in between there. Right. It's like this with the amount of series they had, they need to have an output of like, you should be putting out more small games, which is why again I bring it up all the time. But Pentament's like a perfect example of that. Like we had a few people break off and do a whole game like that, and it's solid. It's good filler though too. It's like that's just the way you pad your numbers on that end too. You make your sense of being there worthwhile and notable.
They just need to start doing like the Eastern game development thing where they make like dancing games or like fighting games like in between the mainline games. Like imagine like a Gears like DDR game.
Yeah. Or Gears of War 5 Royal. Just make
Yeah,
updated versions of it too. Fuck it, you know.
exactly.
Uh, yeah, a lot of the structure with this, and again, Microsoft is not that great either, right? Hi-Fi Rush, shutting down that Tango GameWorks after Hi-Fi Rush
That's
is
so
still
crazy to me.
fucking nuts to me.
Criminal.
Yeah. Um. Man, why like Enslaved 2 would have been fucking lit, dude.
Gore would have loved it.
Yes, sir, he would have. Uh, what the fuck else is? I know we're not getting just those. What they say was who else on the chopping block? Was it the ones that made Redfall?
Uh, we're talking
Yeah,
about
Arcane is
Arcane.
on the chopping block as well.
That makes sense on that end.
Yeah, and again, for that was an instance where it's like, all right, we're gonna make a live service game, and shit didn't work out the way we wanted it. Let's ignore the entire lineage of Dishonored and all the other games that they do, and let's
Wait.
ignore the fact that they're working on Blade right now. But
well, I think it's just the that not all of Arcane, it's just that one subsection of Arcane.
no,
Or
all
is
of
all
Arcane is on the chopping block.
Oh shit.
I thought it was just that one.
Well,
No,
because
it
there's
is the entirety of Arcane.
yeah, because there's Arcane Austin
Arcade
and
Leon.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh wait, Austin's closed. Never mind. So it is Leon.
oh yeah, no, it's Arcade Leon. Is that the main one though?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, I mean, if I'm looking at the studios, I think those are the ones. I mean, Rare. I'm actually surprised. Rare. Well, no, I guess I'm not. Sea of Thieves is literally the only one thing that's making them money right now. Everwild's dead. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Right, and that's another example of just like all that development money pumped into that game. It was supposed to be like an archetype, right?
They
It was
don't even
supposed
know
to be
what the
like
fuck the game was for like the first 4 years. Like, yeah, we don't know what this is. It's like,
yeah, I think it was one of those ones that was trying to chase trends, right? It was probably started off as one thing and then developed into like a survival crafting sim or some shit.
it's funny because it Microsoft wants to run it like Steam runs their shit, kind of, or Valve rather. Like, yeah, do whatever you guys want, guys. This will work out, right? No, that's not how it goes. Turn 10 shut down, or is Turn 10 still there?
Oh yeah, no, Turn 10's still there, right? That's the OG, the Forza proper.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. They'll shut down Mojang, right? They don't
Do
need
they
Mojang.
still like do anything like big? Like or no, the Candy Crush is still ongoing, right?
Mojang is Minecraft.
Right. Oh, wait. What am I thinking? What's Candy
King.
Crush? King? Yeah.
Yeah, which if I recall wasn't.
Yeah, where's
King.
Minecraft 2?
I'm surprised Undead Labs is still around.
Me too. That's the big one. I'm surprised we even got anything for State of Decay 3. I feel like that's going to be a game that they're just trying to push out so that they can
That
get it out there, and then that studio is probably going to be gone within the year.
they are
That
sweating and they
first
hope
game.
that thing fucking makes something, dude. That
Well, I'm just scared it's going to be like half-assed. It's going to be like a bad game, and then they're just going to be like, all right, bye. We had to get it out of there.
thank you.
It's too far along.
I mean, that is actually a studio that I'm surprised they picked up. Right? Because they've only done State of Decay.
Yeah, I mean, like 1 and 2 were great. They're a lot of fun, but it's just like 3's been in development hell for so fucking long. Like, what the hell has been going? That's another example of like, what
9
the fuck have y'all been
years.
doing? Yeah, what have y'all been doing?
9 years from 2 to 3, dude.
And I don't know if like 3's gonna be like that big of a jump to where it's gonna be like, yeah, this is 9 years worth of development.
I don't even know what you're doing at that point.
Yeah, like.
Oh, look, wait.
Zombie
I
Far
forgot
Cry.
about this. 2022 investigation by Kotaku reported on sexist studio culture. The new studio head was replaced by someone else. This guy was replaced by a Microsoft HR investigation. Let's see. These issues come out with a lack of design vision contribute to extensive delays in development for State of Decay 3.
All because the dude was being a sexist, or was it a lady being a sexist?
No, it was the head of HR was a girl.
The head of HR was being a sexist, and she was a lady.
No, the guy was there, but then also they replaced the HR girl. And then yeah, they couldn't figure out what the division of State of Decay 3 was, so that's why that got fucked up. It's gonna be. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's gonna be interesting seeing where Microsoft goes in the next like 5 to 10 years, because it's fucking different. That's for sure. I know they actually want to put, which I think is smart actually. I think it's smart. They're like, hey, we have this fucking series called Fallout. Maybe we should put some fucking money into this. I've a waivers. I think we can all agree on that. Put someone else in there to fucking look at the numbers, be like, what the fuck are you guys? We have this whole fucking show that's popping off right now. Why the fuck are we not making this game right now?
Why would there not be a game already coming out when you have a fucking show in production? Full stop.
That's doing good. Like, just remember, Halo is trash. The movie, the show was fucking god awful. But like when the show is popping off, how the fuck are you not just capitalizing the shit out of that?
Yeah, it's like a universally beloved like video game adaptation, and like for some reason they don't monetize it at all. Besides by putting I think they put Walter Goggins the ghoul in Minecraft 76, right?
Yeah,
Minecraft 76. Or yeah, whatever. Fallout. We're just talking about Minecraft,
yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, they have. I mean, that's
we're skipping 2. We're going straight to 76.
I don't, because what was it specifically? It was Fallout, Halo, and I forget what else they mentioned. Was it Fable? I think maybe.
For what?
Microsoft specifically said in this thing that they want to focus on bigger franchises like Halo, Fallout, and something else.
Well, good, because Halo's been fucking terrible.
Xbox wants new Halo, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls games to arrive faster. Agreed.
Yeah, good luck on that, dude. You're not gonna get. Honestly, I'm surprised Microsoft hasn't hit Bethesda at all. Like, they have to make changes there, because there's no way that's sustainable, right?
No.
Well, I mean, Bethesda has 76 to keep them afloat, essentially.
Which is so funny, dude. If you told me that 5 years ago, that's hey, but that is doing pretty all right because of 76. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but like, just how much has like Fallout or the new Elder Scrolls like cost them now in production?
Oh, and Elder Scrolls Online, they have that as well.
I just don't think those are offsetting.
Right.
Well, it's Activision, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm mixing all these up now.
But no, there still should have been something else far sooner. Like there should be some kind of in between game of like.
Well, we had the space one that everyone fucking hates.
Fucking remake New Vegas. Like, holy shit. I don't understand.
You own both studios.
Dude, I am flabbergasted. Like, again, with the fucking Banjo thing, for example, too, right? It's just so obvious. Like, I just don't understand how you don't have these like ideas that like are just so slam dunk. Like, all right, everyone wants these, cool, do it. Like,
and I feel like this is kind of stuff that can like be done for relatively cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the game's done. There's literally a blueprint there. All you have to do is nail down like, okay, are we making this on Unreal Engine? Cool, let's.
Well, they remade fucking Oblivion. Just do the same shit with fucking Fallout New Vegas. No one gives a shit. Just do that. Like, that's the most disappointing thing about Microsoft not just encouraging them to make fucking stuff on this. Like, Killer Instinct would have been cool to see still some more. Like, I don't know.
I mean, Christ, even going so far as to just fucking, here's a legacy collection. Here's on consoles for the first time ever. Here's Fallout 1, 2, and Tactics.
Dude,
you have the Wasteland guys there too.
No, dude, they're doing Clockwork Revolution.
Which I guess, I don't know. Let's see how that looks. It looks cool, but we'll see. I think there's pressure on that with that being exclusive now too.
Yeah, it's one of those situations for me. It's like, God damn it, I love Wasteland so much, and I don't want this game. I just want more Wasteland. You guys aren't the FPS guys. Leave that to the FPS guys.
Okay, I'm being naive. How big of a development is Wasteland? And could it have been like something they could like split teams off and co-develop? You think, or is Wasteland pretty fucking huge?
Wasteland 3 was really
Wasteland
big.
is massive.
Yeah, Wasteland 3 was really big because it's kind of like one of those Baldur's Gate 3 type of games. There's a lot of choices going on. There's a lot of interdynamic like systems going on there.
Mm,
it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's a game that
interesting
visually,
notation.
of course, it doesn't look, it's not earth shattering, but in terms of like number crunching and mechanics, it's fucking huge.
Solid game, great game.
did did you guys see the thing that she noted about the costs of hardware? How much they've been rising over the last couple of years?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was it's one of those things. It's like, you're kind of spitting here, but is there anything behind these words, or like what's going on?
Let me see. I want to find the actual quote on that end because that 5 times as much is fucking nuts.
All the more reason why all the Microsoft's prepping to have a lot of pay as you go options and a lot of fucking here split up the discount and we'll help you pay for this options for the next gen.
Well, I mean that's Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay and all that shit too. Like that's why that.
Yeah, but like that was one thing that they've confirmed is already on their server backends is having all of that as part of the Xbox ecosystem.
Wasn't that one already? Didn't they already do? Wasn't that with my? I vaguely remember like on the series when they like they
For the series launch, they did something like
you
that.
had like you bought
which
Game
is
Pass with it, it like financed it or something like that.
yes.
I think yeah.
They gave you like a credit check. It wasn't through one of those companies, which is why I didn't do it because I have credit with a bunch of those companies. But it was through them. But it was a similar thing where they'd run a credit check, and then they would let you kind of pay in for kind of thing from their own services. But this past week, it's been confirmed on the Microsoft servers themselves that like Klarna and fucking Sizzle and all the other ones are actively on the Xbox servers for use. Which shout outs to games now being an option where you can pay in for your fucking Halo release.
Oh boy. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. We're in a hardware component crisis. When I joined as CEO in February, the price we paid for console storage components was over 2 times as high as we paid that last year. The costs have since doubled again. As we plan for the 2027 holiday season, we expect another significant increase, taking us over 5 times the price we paid only 2 years earlier. Memory costs have followed a broadly similar trajectory. While the entire industry is facing a component crisis, we believe we have been impacted more greatly than many of our other peers due to the choices we made over the past last half decade. We are currently unable to make as many consoles as players want, and we need a new business model and partnerships for hardware as we remain committed to Helix.
Which again, the cruel irony is basically going back to what they were failing to do to begin with, which is, hey, here's everything is an Xbox. Here you go. Here's your fucking Play Anywhere pass.
Yeah.
Literally, if they had probably committed to that with the state of hardware and where it's going.
I would love the GC numbers back then because this is a wild pivot. You've opened the floodgates, and it's Pandora's box, right? Like they have opened Pandora's box, but they're now trying to close Pandora's box. So I'm curious to see where that plays out with this. Okay. I forget there was like something else in here, but I don't really care enough to read through all of it. Anyway, that's where Xbox is at. So fun times. Let's see. Was there anything else in the big pipeline for all that? And was this the main?
No, there was other shit, but I don't remember what it is at this point now. I'm trying to scroll through some shit real quick. See if I can remember what the fuck it was.
Valve killing Steam gift cards. I know that kind of sucks, but also too many scammers.
Yeah.
Right. No shit.
Pokemon Go scans quietly train the navigation tech now headed into military drones. Hell yeah.
I mean, that's old news at this point. That was discovered like a year ago.
After more than 2 years, Dragon Dogma 2 is removing most of its microtransactions. You guys hear about that fucking TMNT pizza place in LA?
No.
That was cool. I was ready to visit it. Guess how much a piece of pizza is? Like one slice.
$4.80.
Kels?
Like $15.
$12.
Nice.
$12 for a fucking slice of pizza. That place, fuck off.
That's absurd.
Yeah.
Hell no.
No, absolutely not. That's insane. Stop trying to rip me off just because you have the fucking Donatello paint in the front. Whatever.
Real quick, the Stop Killing Games initiative has failed the European Commission, basically releasing a statement that said, well, we can't force developers to keep games alive, so fuck off.
What does this
Well-
mean? Capcom says shifting from auteur-driven development to team-led development is what transformed the company and allowed flagship IPs to survive for so long.
What that means is instead of having a few visionaries with an idea just go wild, they said, fuck it, everyone collaborate on some shit.
Yeah, I think so. That's fair. Despite now being 7 years old, Devil May Cry 5 just had its best year of sales yet. That's insane. What the fuck happened there? Did I miss
Release on
something?
more platforms.
Maybe the season 2 release for the TV show.
Oh, yeah, maybe the TV show helped. I didn't think
Gross.
about
That's kind of crazy though.
that. Reminds me how Obsession's just still progressively doing solid.
Right? No shit.
Yeah, Fumito Ueda said seeing Blue Point Games close was disappointing and sad to hear. Agreed. Did you guys see updates on that fucking Lego mini brick thing?
I haven't followed it at all.
It gets more insane by the time. CoffeeZilla just made like like an investigation thing on it, and he's like kind of just bewildered by a lot of shit that's going on here. It's actually fucking nuts.
Yeah, because a lot of it's like just shit that you just can't plan for. It's like these people are literally just this stupid. Like it's kind of like the shit that you kind of like overthink because it's like there's no way someone's this dumb.
So, David, you're let's put you in the shoes of these store owners really quick because they are still technically part of the victims, but also they were not very good at managing this.
Yeah.
Okay, you get this giant collection of Star Wars Legos. Okay, you
Yep.
open up the option to layaway things
Failure one.
at not a 5 or 10% hold, at a $10 hold. That people start just vehemently putting $10 down, and then they wouldn't be like directed towards it. They would do lump sums, so it'd be like, "Hey, I want those 7 figures. Here's $10 down on that. All right, they'll put down $10 more. All right, well, whenever I got 100, I want one of those figures down, but you're gonna hold my layaway." They were managing like I think 75 layaway different orders that were just constantly fluctuating and back and forth because people would put them away or decide against it or not. The studio just or this company just was not paying out properly. So like even though, but then imagine all right, so they're mismanaging things or they're not keeping things as orderly as they should be, and then corporate comes in and does a hostile takeover and doesn't even allow the woman to like her time to like, all right, hold on, let me actually like calculate this up to make sure we're all good. And because they didn't know that she didn't know, all this stuff is just like lost now.
But how does that happen?
That's a good question, brother. And at the end of the day, it's an older man dying of sickness. It's out $80K.
Hell yeah.
So
Well, I mean, he's still kind of up because they had the GoFundMe that reached like 300,000 or whatever for him.
did they pay him out?
I mean,
on
he's
that?
still dead, but he's still winning the moral victory.
No, he's still alive.
Right.
No.
But
For the time being.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's been wild. And then everyone got panicked for a second because the YouTuber came on there and said, for the first thing, he said he was representing himself for the very beginning of the opening court thing to show for like the date. I think he's since found a lawyer because I was like, hey, dude, this might be the dumbest fucking thing you ever done if you don't go into this without a lawyer. Like, do not fucking represent yourself in this fucking case. That's absolutely stupid.
Yeah, you're not low tier god.
Yeah, that man. Shout out to him. He got custody back. Oh no, yeah, he got custody. of his child that he claimed as of 2 years ago did not exist.
Hell yeah, king shit, king behavior.
Yeah, king shit. That's what I call that. Hell yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's it. Remember when Game Pass is $10 a month, guys?
Great
Those,
times.
those were the good old days.
Yeah, they're
I
dead
miss
now.
those days.
Microsoft
God
CEO
damn.
says we have to turn Xbox into a sustainable business. Good quote. I agree.
Maybe one of these days.
We'll see. Anyway, there's no game this week. I think that's it. David, why does Final Fantasy 8 suck?
Many reasons.
Is there one particular reason that you think I'd agree on with you on that?
There's two key differences. Disc 1 is entirely different than the entire other 3 discs of the fucking game. So there's an insane story disconnect as you play through the first disc of the 4-disc game series. And you're like, okay, I see where this story is going. And then it just fucking veers off into fucking La La Land and absolute bullshit and nonsense and 80,000 plot holes that tear apart the entire narrative structure. But goddamn, that first disc was fucking good. The entire rest of it, not so much. The second thing is that the game is designed in a backwards way where it is an insanely easy game to break open if you don't play it. FF8 has a unique system called the junction system where the entirety of combat is designed around hoarding your magic spells because magic spells are consumable in this game. And instead of having equipment, you equip your spells to your stats. And so the entire point is you want to hoard magic and not use it so you can equip it to your stats and then level up and increase your stats by doing as little in the game as possible other than grinding magic. Because enemies also change and level up with you. So the game is harder the more you play it. So, from a gameplay perspective, the game is designed to reward you from only hoarding magical resources and never using them and doing combat as little as possible.
So if I do play, I don't play that much combat.
Basically, the majority of your time playing it is playing the card game mini game because that is the efficient way of getting cards, which you can then turn into magic spells. So basically, you're only ever really playing the boss fights and spending 80% of your time playing the card game so you can go ahead and get the resources to max out your characters and not play the actual combat of the game. But wait, that is still not the crux of it because the card game has a variable rule system that changes depending on the whims of the world that you're playing in. And if there's a rule set, like the random rule, which means that all the cards you use are randomized between all the cards in your collection, you don't get to pick the cards you use in the card game, and that rule decides to spread across all the different continents, you then have to spend time grinding the resources to change the rules across all those different regions.
Fair enough.
Not a good game. It is an interesting game, but it is not a good game.
Last thing I was gonna say before we dip out, I keep forgetting to ask, how's this live? Are we doing Doomsday in 4DX?
That's a toughie because I want to see it in like IMAX probably.
Okay, so IMAX over 4DX.
Yeah,
Should we do IMAX and then when David comes in for town, we do 4DX with David?
exactly.
I mean, that's probably
Bingo.
not happening this year at this point.
Just walk.
Yeah, dude, come on, the Subarus.
True. I could put the Subarus on.
It's fair. All right. Any non-legal legal advice you can give?
Nope.
All right, that's fair. Got smart. You wisened up on that. So I'm gonna stop giving advice out.
More
to
like
pay
I
for that.
get up in like 5 hours. So
Ooh, all right, we're out.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
stream. Adios. Take care.